Welcome to November General Meeting. Today is November 16th, 2024, and we're going to have our second from last meeting of the year. This meeting, we are talking about things that we did for the medical mission, amount we spent, or what we plan, and then amount we spent for each program. We don't have an exact number because only a few people responded with the actual amount that they spent. And I know a lot of people were buying towards the end and did not disclose how much they spent. So, I mean, that's just an area of improvement for future. So we have to make that plan a little bit clear so I can have things that people are able to disclose as they collect or as donate, and then so we can have an accurate tally at the end of the year, because I have to disclose every single thing that was donated, how much estimate-wise to the government. So then we can say, okay, this year we did this and that much. So right now I have a very close estimate for what I think things cost, and then for what people give me the number. But as I say, that's an area also we need to work on, and we have a plan to try and set early and plan ahead and calculate to have an accurate number at the end of the year. Okay, so it's, as we said, the goal for this meeting is to share what we have collected and how much we spend. So that also meets our motto is saying Haba na Haba, building a better world together. Means every little things that we collected, donated, or planned and executed is gonna make the world a better place. Means like we're gonna impact, and that's what the last month meeting we discussed things that people saw that has made a difference from other people in Tanzania who were receiving this care from us. So definitely we are living up to our motto, we are living up to our mission, and I'm grateful to have you guys experience this journey with me, with the organization. So I'm grateful and I'm thankful for everything that you have done and you continue doing for the organization. Okay. As I said, the summary of the expenses today, and then so of course these are the group of all the volunteers who went to Tanzania, and of course we met our colleagues also in Tanzania. So thank you very much. These are the list of the programs we have. Just a quick recount is nutrition, hydration, sports, magnet, and Minazini vision. We didn't do the hearing this time, but it always goes together. Hand washing and dental hygiene, sanitary pads or stay in school, help baby breathe, and thermoregulation, postpartum hemorrhage, ICU and anesthesia. It was a little bit there, but not as much as we would like to. And then, of course, comprehension, CPR and school collaboration. So school collaboration, we didn't do as much as we wanted to, but we're going to work to try and make sure that program also continues because it's empower those children and we want to be part of it. Okay, so let's start with one of the programs. We did the hydration, and of course, we all know that Tanzania is hot. So most of the time, we want to make sure that the children are hydrated when they're playing outside. So this is one of the pictures that you can see. The headmistress is the one with the black hijab there she's wearing. And then Miss Charlotte, Miss Rukia there in the class with the little Okay, so with that hydration project, as I said, we did have almost more than 1,000 water bottles. And so for Minazin, we did distribute 950. That's also including the teachers. And then also we gave 53 at the Magnet Club spots. So those are because if they're athletes, they need to stay hydrated. And that's one of the areas that we teach the school, they have the sports, they need to be hydrated. So last year we spent almost like 802 for the in-kind donation because of the buying the waters and because we use a different vendor. So it was a little bit pricey, but this year we spent only $746 to buy all those water bottles. And this year, we thank Dr. Dina Komakoba for helping us to go and search and try to find where we some discounted prices. And then because we bought so much, so that the vendor agrees to give us in a lesser amount, so which we spend less than a year. So thank you very much, Dr. Dina Komakoma. So of course, hydration goes with the nutrition, and also this is always we try to feed the children. Our goal is to feed them the whole year, which will cost us more than $50,000. We are getting there, but not there. So we are, I mean, the certain things that we need to do this year that's going to be different to be able to reach that goal. So this is one of the posters that's going to be shared and used as a fundraising event. You can see the little boy on the bottom left. They're very happy, got their food. You can see little beans and some vegetables and the rice. So that is a huge, big deal. Because when we started, we were just giving them beans and rice, and that's the only we can afford at that time. But now, because we were doing all those nutrition part, we added that part. So that was great. And you can see all the kids are lining up. Everybody's happy. The little right bottom picture there, you can see the little, they call awali. So kind of, it was like a kindergarten. So these are little kids line up to go and get their meal. So it's a blessed sight to see, and we are proud to be part of it. We were able to feed them for 2 weeks, but our goal is to do more than that. Okay, so this is the places that they're cooking their food. And then, of course, feeding the 970 children, including the teachers, for 2 weeks is going to cost a lot of money. And of course, we want to be able to. So, but anyway, we want to be able to help eventually to try and make sure the place that they're cooking the food is a little bit cleaner, but that's another project for another day. But this is what they have now, but they work with what they have. And then so last year we were able to cover the food for I believe 9 days. And then we were able to pay for $1,663 for last year, but this year we paid $1,840. Because remember, I mean, the prices and adding more vegetables and all the stuff cost a little bit more money. So we are hoping that we can continue this program and make it more impact. So this we only did for 2 weeks. So we want to do more than that. As I said, doing for a whole year is cost them. Cost $50,000. So I know $50,000 is a lot of money, but if there's anybody who can sponsor us, that would be great. And so we can feed these children, then they'll be able to go and break the cycle of poverty and learn something and go and improve their family and their community. So if anybody can join us with that next program, next year, that would be great. Okay, so another project is the vision screening. Definitely, we thank Dr. Eric. He was able to work with Mr. Steve Jones and all the people in the school to be able to do. So this year we only saw the parents and the teachers. We didn't see the children because we already did that couple of years with the children. And these are a lot of glasses were donated last year, and then they missed because they were delivered after we left, and that's why we were able to use and distribute those ones. So it was not as big project as before, but kind of like a targeted project, because we had to answer what we did the screening last year, and we didn't have the glasses, so we have to answer them this year. And then so they were able to see the people who needed the glasses, prescription glasses. They were able to give to 53 people. So that's parents and teachers at the Minazin Primary School. And then so last year we had 730 pairs of glasses. That's including the prescription and the reading glasses. They were distributed around some of them last year, but this year we were able to have 50 pairs. They were given, and then some of them were given just the reading glasses. So we are going to try and make this project a little bit cleaner, meaning like we are going to have targeted things to be done. Mr. Steve Jones, Dr. Siakabe are working on trying to streamline this project to make sure that it's efficient. We can go with a complete team and have more impact than what we have this year. But this year definitely was the most special because there was a lot of stuff that was done. And I know Mr. Steve Jones, if he's here on the meeting, we can share that information a little bit later. Okay, another program was thermoregulation. I know we have our ladies who are going to school and help them with the school, and then they came to the hospital and help with us. So you can also see Dr. Gina Komakoma there holding a baby. But this is one of the time that Ms. Rukia and Ms. Charlotte were in the one of postpartum moms who had their babies in the NICU. So they were lining up on waiting to feed their babies. And then so that's the time they use the opportunity to teach them how to do thermoregulation, like ensure the baby is warm, how to wrap the baby around and stuff like that. So it was a great project. So at Monanyamala, we were able to give 250 set, almost like it was a blankets, onesie, little hat, and the cloth diapers for some of them because we didn't have that many. So, and then we were able to leave, I think, 50 set kids in Kilwa Road Hospital. So for that part, and as I said, this amount that is shown is only the people who confirm, but I know we had so much more than that. We had a lot of blankets that I did not know how much it is because people brought them with them and then donated to the organization while we were already there. So it's kind of like not captured, but it was there on the pictures because I can see it. However, the ones that we captured was 500, which I know for last year was more than that. And this year, for the ones that we captured, was $754.61. But as I said, to be able to have 250 kits definitely is more than that. But because I believe Amazon, they're selling like 100 of those blankets, I believe was like $35. So just having that math very quickly, you can see the amount to pile up with all the onesies and all the stuff like that. But as I said, we're going to do better. For school, we had the backpack and all the supplies in there. We didn't have that much supplies in there, but at least we made sure whatever was in one bag is on every bag for the kids that they have. And then so last year for those school supplies, we spent $2,000. And then this year we spent $4,245.81. As I said, again, we didn't capture every single sum because I know some of the volunteer brought extra supplies. And thank you very much for Ms. Veronica for also donating for the kids who received the merit backpack, which are the ones that the top 5 children in each class who did very well got an extra backpack. So all those things, as I said, we're going to have a better system next time to make sure that we capture every donated, because if somebody donated to us to go and give it to the children, we need to acknowledge that and add it to the amount that was an in-kind donation that we can report at the end of the year. Okay, so the next group is the sports part. So thank you, Dr. Bay, with everybody in the school, working with Dr. Akimbi. It was a blessing to see. Definitely the community will never forget us. And that's
You're muted.
I am? Oh, no. Hold on a second. Where is my little thing?
I can hear you now.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't know why it keeps muting itself. I'm sorry. Okay, so for the team, for the sports, so thank you, Dr. Bay, and for the Dr. Akimbi, and all the people from the coaches from Minazin. Definitely, you can see the joy in these children who they usually play the games, friendly games with the other team, but giving them the opportunity to shine and show their skills and play with Magnet. And thank you for Magnet management for allowing the children to come and share that excitement. For these kids at the Minazin, even the neighbors around there, they were so excited to see there's a live excitement at the school. They came and cheered, like the whole school to cheer them up. So it was an excitement project to have and see the children are so happy, and then you know for sure you build them their self-esteem quite a bit to make sure that they are proud, they have the talent to do it. And that's what we want, just inspire the youth or light up on their heart to make sure that they can think beyond of what their problems every day. So it was very good to see. So we did get those jerseys for these children, and then Natisi, we have to plan a little bit better next time to make sure that whatever the team there needs, it's accomplished before we get there. So when we go there, we can have a lot of stuff. But I know Dr. Siakabe has done quite a bit of getting all the balls, the pennies, and all the stuff to try and get the kids get what they need. Definitely, you can see the children also there posing. Everybody's having too much fun to try and look at this as a team. It was great to see. So for those kids, that team has 30 children who have were put in the team to the co-stingers now to come and play with Minazin. So it was great to see them getting excitement. So last year we spent around 750, but this year we spent almost 1,000 for the sports and stuff, getting the balls, the jump rope, the pennies and stuff like that. We're gonna give the chance later for Dr. Sekabe to explain what exactly went through in there, but this is just to capture that how much we paid. But I know it's more than that because sometimes the people donate more extra stuff and then they don't catch it to see itemize to make sure we know the amount. But I said that's the area that we need to get better with that. Okay, another group is the sanitary pad project, which is very dear to me and for all the ladies and the medical mission, all the teachers over there and the children. I mean, the feedback is phenomenal. It's something else. We are going to make information specifically for the project and then the feedback that the Mwalimu Esther Chambo shared with me about the project, because the children now are not missing school at all. And then so the class is always full and the girls are happy. There are few girls who did not have the pads that time because they were not in the 4th grade or younger. But some of them have showed that the need, so they were able to be given since we left extras with the teachers. So it's something that they will never forget. And we need to expand that project because there's a school next to them there, which the girls also are struggling the same way. So if we can help these girls here, and if we have the ability, we need to help the other girls also. Yes, so this was just different design and stuff, and then and people donated quite a bit, which I did not expect that part. So it was a beautiful surprise to see. So we were able to have all those 350 kits, and that kit, each kits have, some of them are 8, some of them are 10. So that was a huge program, which I did not think we're going to get there. So compared to last year to this year, it was crazy. So we were able to give the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade. And then, of course, the teachers. And also we were able to give to the postpartum moms at the hospital, so 40 of them. So this is something that we can expand the project because it was so successful. And it was the ones we went for postpartum unit was from Miss Rukia, which she donated that for the moms who just had the babies, who did not have their pads and stuff like that, to have something clean and make sure they stay and don't have an infection. So it's something that open our eyes to be able to, if we are able to raise 350 kits. So if we're able to raise more than that, then we can start going also to help the postpartum moms who just have their babies and can't go and buy or cannot afford to have a clean sanitary pad to wear and worry about their babies versus worry about themselves. So it's something that the people who are going to be working on that project are going to be focusing on that part also. So thank you for everybody who works on that group. So for last year, we did the disposable pads and we were able to spend $2,000 equivalent of an in-kind donation because a lot of them were fundraise and donation of the actual pad. So when we calculated, it was close to 18 or something like that. And then the other, we had to buy it purposefully because we wanted to give each girls, I believe, 5 individual disposable pads, which for all the ladies, you guys know that is just 1 month is gone. But when we when we arrive over there, we were able to get a lot of them. And then we were able to give at least for 3 months. So, but still 3 months out of 12 months, it's great. but it was not enough. And then so this year we like outdone ourselves. That's I would say, and very proudly claim it that we did outdid ourselves. So we were able to spend $7,035.39 to get the reusable pad, which people can use year and after year. So I mean, it was, as I said, it's so exciting. Another project, Help Baby Breathe. So that's Dr. Wolfreck, Dr. Kimby, and Miss Tanya, and another is Missy. So all of them were able to do in the hospital and also in training at the Kilwa. So we were able to, the ones that were accounted for, surprise-wise, was close to $500 for last year. But I know Dr. Msambichaka had way more than the stuff, and I know it's more than that part, as I said, because she did bring a lot of stuff for training and donations. And this year, again, it's $754.61. But again, there's a lot of stuff that went through the surprise stuff for the thermoregulation. So once we have an accurate tallies of every little things, then we're going to see that number grows very quickly. But yeah, you can see the doctors were working hard. And I know there was other pictures that Ms. Tanya also did an excellent job with us training also.
But you want to make sure that you can get a seal, and you don't want a mask that is so big. And see, look, I could actually cover the mouth and the nose and get the eyes and make the baby's heart rate slow down, which I don't want to do. Yeah. That would be an unseemly complication at this point.
Okay, so the training for the Help Baby Breathe, they did 72 healthcare workers at Kilwa, because that's what we did for 3 days. And the nurses and doctors were there in and out for the training. So it was quite a bit of education there. For CPR, okay. So this program keeps growing and growing and growing. We're trying to reach as much as we can, but also requires a lot of money. We were able to do 72 people in the Kilwa hospital. Those are the same ones who did the Help Baby Breathe, because we were using the same building to try and do that part. For Mwananyamala, we did the 24 people also, because they were coming in and out to do the training for the CPR. And then, of course, in the community, we did the school children. There was 96 of them when we did the CPR for the children. And then, of course, 35 when we did the teachers and staff the day before that part. And then for the magnet, we did 53. So if you add all these people, I mean, there's quite a bit of training and education. Yes, we did majority of the education geared in a community sense, but when we did for the hospital, definitely we want to make sure we use what we need, and we need to include the intubation if needed for the people who need that training. As I said, we're going to do a lot of stuff differently this year to try and prepare this program moving forward. So for surprise purposes, last year we spent $2,500 to buy 2 sets of mannequin, the CPR family, they call it. So it's 5 mannequin for each set. So we bought 2 of them, and then also we were able to go and do the training for both hospitals last year. So this year you can see we spent a little bit less money, not because we didn't have enough, but because the mannequin donated to the hospital last year was kept, and then we asked them to come and use this year to try and help. And we did not capture a lot of people, but still we did a little bit more efficiently to capture a lot of people, especially in school and magnet and the teachers. There was an added number of trainees. So we're going to continue making it better. People who are going to be in the CPR group, they're going to try to identify the areas that they can need to streamline. We need to be able to do some theory before we go over there. So when we go there, then we do the skills validation, and that it's going to make a little bit more sense, because doing theory part and the practical part at the same time, when with a limited time, it's a little bit harder. But as I said, we're going to do things a little bit different and make it more efficient. Postpartum hemorrhage, of course. This is the one that started the whole this mission, the medical mission, because a lot of moms are dying in Tanzania unnecessarily. So if we can contribute and try to go and help and provide training. That is what we need to do. So thanks for the practice and set up, Bree, creating all this blood, scaring everybody. They're afraid to touch and think it's real. But yeah, so thanks for your handiwork there. Yes, so for the CPR for Mwananyamala, we did it 24. We didn't do as much in the healthcare system this year at Mwananyamala because we were in the unit and doing what we needed to do. For Kilwa, we did spend a lot of time in the training room. That's why you can see a bigger number for healthcare workers at Kilwa. But as I said, we're going to do a little bit different things next time because we have already seen areas of opportunities to grow and to make it more efficient. ZEDs, 72 people learn from CPR because we did so postpartum hemorrhage in Kilwa because this some of the people came back for 3 days. Some of them we were getting more newer people in each group, but we just counted in each day how many people we did and we add them up, you get to 72. Because every time somebody, even if they show up 3 times, you're teaching them, that counts. So that's why you see the number there. And then so last year for the postpartum hemorrhage mannequin or the pelvis for people who on the OB world, we spent $800.23, including the supplies and stuff for teaching because we had to do a lot of stuff. But this year we didn't buy the newer one. We just used the previous pelvis and then we just buy only the supplies, the pads, the chucks and stuff like that. And that's why you see the amount spent on postpartum hemorrhage is less than last year, but it does not mean that we didn't do more. We did a lot of training and teaching this year because we used the same model from last year. So the model cost almost $500. So you can see that's why we save money from buying an extra model, but we were able to bring efficient supplies to donate for the labor and delivery unit and postpartum. Okay, so looking at this list of these things, as I said, we did not capture the actual value of every single item. You can see the wheelchairs, you can see all the blankets, you can see all these on the middle right side there, next to Bree's hair. You can see all the baby blanket. Those ones, yes, they were donated towards the end. People pack and bring with them, so we didn't capture it, but we saw them when we were trying to donate stuff. You can see the walkers, and you can see also the vent tubing and stuff. We didn't itemize those things because those were donated to us from one of the hospital. So there's a lot of stuff that we did not capture in this amount, but we're going to do better next time and make sure we catch every single one of them. And thanks, Bree, for modeling our surprise. So this is the one that we did. This one was donated in Mwananyamala. You can see Dr. Benera, the one with the white, the fourth person from the right. That's the regional medical officer who was there and receiving all this supplies. And then so the other ones were donated to Kilwa Hospital. You can see the Fande Nyandets there, and the commodes. There's so many things that we didn't pull. You can see more blankets there. As I said, we have so much stuff that we did not account for it. Again, tubing, vent tubes and filters are there. And of course, extra disposable pads, which people donated more than even last year. So they were added in there, but we did not account for it on the amount of what is donated. Okay, so to summarize all the stuff, because I know it's so much information, usually this slide is going to give you everything that we did and how many people were affected or impacted. So looking at the first column is scheduled project 2024 medical mission in Tanzania. And then the second column is going to talk about the attendees and the users, people who receive the care from us. And then, of course, how much time we spend with that. And then, of course, how many people were involved in engaging in these activities. So just have that in mind when you're looking for the facilitator column, the fourth column. Think of if that activity was done by one person, how many people we should have had to prepare and complete this mission. So start with the first column. So the first column, like physician and pediatric rounding. So those are the newborn group or pediatric groups. So they attended quite a bit of the babies. So this is just an estimate because I know there was in and out, different flow and stuff like that. But what we could count and surmise from how many visits they did or how many rooms they went, they were able to see at least 40 newborn including peds in there. So in each day, kind of like spending almost 6 hours, and then we did at least 4 days. That's why we especially this is in Mwananyamala now. They spend so much time. Remember also day one, we went to Mwananyamala, so they were able to see that. I didn't count that because that was supposed to be counted for Kilwa. But it's just to have an estimate how many hours. So chances is those, they spend 24 hours taking care of those kids. If we want to quantify an amount of money, we're going to be able to figure that part out later. But knowing that they spend that much time seeing those children who otherwise they would have never seen the expertise to come and see them. Help Baby Breathe, the same thing, 72 people, like what we said, training. And then, of course, we did the 5 days of that, 5 hours, and because staying in the training room, and then for 4 days, that's 20 hours. For thermoregulation, people were going around, so 250 new parents were able to see how to take care of the baby, bundle them up, and what you need to do, how you dress up the baby, and all the stuff. Fun time. And then, of course, they spend at least 4 hours for each day going around each unit to give out all those donated stuff, and that was for them. And the thermoregulation, infection lecture, that's Dr. Akimbi. In the room, there was like 52 people in the RN and doctors, and of course, some of the staff members, pharmacists, and if I can remember quickly, they were in the room, so they were able to listen to the lecture. And the lecture was, I believe, almost an hour and a few minutes. I put it 2 hours just an estimation because of the preparation time also he used. And that's only one day. That was what it shows like on one person. And this same thing for the stable training. Yeah, so there was like 32 doctors. We didn't have nurses in there just because of the scheduling purposes. And majority of the time, they wanted the doctors to get that class. And then, of course, the class was for 2 days. And then, so there was 16 hours total. And then the facilitator, so there's the person who was teaching and then a translator there. So there was 2 people there. Imagine they spend those 16 hours. So if we quantify, then how much is it going to be? Postpartum hemorrhage, yeah, so 72 for the kilo and then 9 for Mwananyamala. And then that's only for 5 hours in a day, because that's also what we did. And then, of course, for the training. And then, of course, there was 12 people, because there's a lot of people who were helping with the postpartum hemorrhage kids, going around and rotating people, doing different stations, stuff like that. CPR is the same thing, because they were used almost at the same time. And then, of course, 5 people specifically were teaching those training. And in fact, I think it should be more than that, because there are people also setting up and stuff like that. We can adjust that number, that's fine. Vision screening and acuity, I mean, yes, they were able to see the parents, 53 teachers and parents who were seen and given the glasses. And then, so of course, they spend 2 days, 6 hours each. Oh, I think that was a mistake. It's supposed to be 12 hours. And there was 4 people there. And then stay in, oh no, there's hours for preparation of sorting out and stuff. That's why I added hours, sorry. It should have been 6 and plus hours for preparation. For the stay in school, we have 350 kids, and then so the staff, the teachers and the student to receive that, including the postpartum moms. And then we did that for 3 hours because we had to talk to them and distribute stuff and talk to them. That was only one day, and there's 14 facilitated people who were helping sorting stuff out and do like that. Sports and physical education, there was 30 students, and of course there are 3 coaches, and then that was like preparation and stuff, 5 hours. All those was done in the last day in competition, and then 6 people were involved. Nutrition and hydration, of course, 970 students and teachers for 5 days for 2 weeks, and then that's 10 hours of preparation. I'm counting on the time that they're going to eat, but behind the scene, people who are working on payment and all the stuff, there's only 2 people behind the scene. Dental hygiene and hand washing, the same thing. CPR train at school, we did the 33 teachers. And then, of course, for the students, we did 96. Magnet, it was 53 kids with their coaches. And that was 3 hours we spent at the one of the evening. And then we'll be able to, there was 8 people who were teaching and distributing stuff. And then, of course, the EKG, there's 24 nurses and doctors who were able to attend the last day. And then Bree and Tanya also was there. And I mean, I know Dr. Kimbe also was there, part of doing the medication stuff. And I think there's more people who are doing the training there. School supplies distribution, of course, all the volunteers were there. So 970 children received those backpack and stuff. So we spent almost 4 hours with them. And then nutrition distribution, the same thing was given for, the food was given for 970 kids. So usually with this, how to quantify and report these numbers is that people who receive, if everybody, if it's every individual person receiving this service, there will be 5,000 people, 273 people who receive the care that were there for 2 weeks. And that's how you can quantify. And then how many hours did you spend? We spent 167 hours to provide that care during those times. And then the facilitator, even if you did multiple, so each encounter is counted. So we should have 149 people, different people to complete this mission. But there was only 30 of us who did the whole mission. That means we did have to spend more hours in different activity. And that's how you quantify the whole project at the end of the year to say, this is how much we did for the medical mission. And usually we go further if we're asking for funds. Now we have to quantify the hours that we work and distribute how much money for each person should get. And then you can say this medical mission costs $150,000. So that's usually we have to get to it. We're not there yet, but we should be able to do that part eventually, yes. If somebody asks like how much, if people decide to pay for everybody who provide that service, how much do it cost them to do it? So those are things that is beyond. When we start getting those corporate sponsors and they ask, how much money, how much time did you spend providing that care? How many the impact of that your care? So we can say, yes, we spent 167 hours, which cost us $150,000, and then 5,273 people receive our care. If we were not there, then that means they would have never gotten that care training, whatever we were supposed to provide. Okay, so lastly, so how with this medical mission, donation income and expenses and stuff. So for this year, we were able to raise, collect, and gather $98,000.56 for what we plan to do. And then, of course, for the social media, we were able to collect at least $5,000, $438.42 in-kind donation, and we pack back and forth. Goes close to 50,000. As I said, the estimate, this is underestimating because that's what I could figure it out quickly. But a lot of stuff were donated and people were not telling me the amount. And some of the people will be like, no, I donate. I don't want to know the amount, which I appreciate that. I understand people donate because they want to donate, not because they say, oh, I'm donating $5,000 of this. No, I understand that part. However, for the reporting purpose for the IRS, I have to disclose how much was in-kind donation. As I said, we're going to get better for that and try to give an estimate. So a rough estimate was like, those are things close to $50,000. So Global Volunteer, this is like amount of people who pay for their tickets and stuff. So it was 22,660. And then cash donation. This is like, remember the logistic amount of money and all the stuff that we need to do to spend in Tanzania. So that's, we did the transaction because you're international, you have to declare how much we spend over there. So it's like $19,958.10. So if you compare last year and this year, so last year we were planning for medical mission was like, the budget was $67,818.20, but actually the medical mission had $77,251.01. And then of course, if you look back, 22, we had a lot of money because we had 47 volunteers. So this time, last year we had 14, plus our colleagues in Tanzania, 7 of them, so it's 22. But this year we had 14 from US and then 11 from Tanzania. So we had almost like 29 people. That's why I said it was almost 30 because there's some people who came one day and then another day. So in totality, I just get a number of 30 volunteers for this year. So for this year budget was $90,000, just flat to see, okay, these are things that we need to do because of how the size of the project. But we end up spending $99,753, $57.73. So $99,757.73. Okay, you can see how crazy it is. And a lot of money and a lot of transaction, and that's why we need help. Okay, any questions?
I have a question. Will this update be available to share
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. And then, as I said, if somebody needs to share that table, yes, we make a screenshot and picture because we're going to use those for requesting for money or fundraising or corporate letters. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And that's why our goal is to make sure we do project-wise estimation, planning, and stuff like that. So it will be easier. Let's say, I'm giving an example, say the sanitary pad. We spend this $7,000 and change. Definitely, if we had $10,000, we do this and this and this and this. And this is what we did. This is the planning. This previous years, we did that. So each project is going to have kind of a little that part details. And then, yes, you can share this information because that's what I'm going to report to the IRS. Yeah. To say what is we did and what, because for the non-profit organization, any of this transaction is the public information. So when I finish this part, even if you post in the not Facebook, sorry, YouTube, it's accessible. And then usually I get the report at the end of the year. I have to tell them exactly what it is, which majority of information is going to be, that's what we have. And as I said, we need to get better because at the end of the year, they're going to say, oh, as an organization, you have how many volunteers and how many hours did you spend and how much did you spend? How much did you receive? How much did you spend? And at the end of the year, how much is left to run the organization? So it's a lot of behind the scenes things. And yes, all the information is public information. Thank you for the question. That was an excellent question. Okay, so as I said, as a Qhsc family, we are thankful and thankful and thankful because remember, all these things are done is volunteer work. Nobody's getting paid. So it's a lot of stuff that if we are able to get funds and able to get some assistance and get maybe help, like somebody who is going to be doing certain things consistently, and that's our goal, and be able to pay for them, that would be an absolute great idea. And that's why this year we're trying to make sure we do things a little bit different to come and raise more money for the organization so we can have help. It's a lot of work. Definitely, it's a lot of work, but I know we can do it. I know we can do it. And there's a lot of good people here. God bless us all for your presence, guys, to help us. And I know we can do it. So if we're having funds, that will sustain our mission and work. So to go and help even more people there. Okay, so I have the second part that the reason that we are doing all this part and we want to learn and want to grow. And I know sometimes people, we ask, oh, how was it? Oh, it was great. Which, I mean, I'm grateful that people acknowledge that part, but I'm always looking for area to improve, like something that we need to do better and we need to improve. It doesn't mean that we're doing it bad now. No, all the time that you have 5, 6 sets of eyes, you're going to get a better product than even only one set of eye. So we always have to encourage people to do it. And that's why we posted the survey. So I'm going to go over the questions for survey, then I'm going to open the floor for everybody to discuss. Okay. So what made Medical Mission 2024 a success? We all know it's from the feedback, things that prior volunteers or prior advisors or board members have suggested, and then we implemented it. And then that's why you can see the growth in the organization. We need more though. We need more regular people who can see from the standpoint of end user to say, yes, this is what we need to do. And those are the ones that we help us to make sure that whatever we are doing, it reach the person who is receiving. And that's our goal, because everybody, I believe, who is coming to the organization, they're not coming to say, okay, I'm going to get there to be rich. No, they're coming to because they want to go and help somebody, in which that's what we want, to help others. Okay, so there was 11 questions on the survey. And so I'm going to review, I think, 9 of them, because the other 2, I believe, was asking for you guys to volunteer and you put your information in there. I'm not going to share that information with everybody else. I'm going to contact you individually for people who share their email. So, and then we can work from there. And then once you are okay with everything, then we're going to make it more public to what areas that you can help us. So the first question was, did you attend 2024 Medical Mission? Only 9 people said yes and 13 did not. So which to me, it gives me hope, because people who did not and still doing the survey, more likely they are seeing it as end users, so they can participate and provide their feedback, which is great. And of course, the more valuable feedback also is for the people who went and see that, okay, maybe we could have done this differently. And that's what I'm always looking for, because I want people to be honest and tell me, not sugarcoating stuff. Yeah. And then just let us know so we can learn and that. But yes, having that mixture of the responses made me very happy. So total number of all the responses were 22, which is great. We could have had more, but 22, I will take it. Question number 2, are you a Qhsc member? So only 14 said yes. And then if not, would you like to be a member? 7 people said yes, so which is great. And then some people said no, which is okay. You don't have to be a member, but if you're willing to provide support, you can be Qhsc friend, which is great. Still, we welcome you to be there. So thank you for everybody who responded. Number 3, did you participate in the preparation of the in the project of the medical mission? So 11 people said yes, 11 people said no, which is great. So we one of those 11 people who said no. Hopefully next time to participate, then we get a huge impact, because we have no extra people now to provide their feedback. And then of course, number 4, if you follow the 2024 medical mission, what was your impression of the preparations and implementation? So this was a loaded question. And then of course there were 16 responses. So some of them sorting out items in order prior to the day was, so everything was in order, everything was organized, items were excellent. And then more institution such as Professional Health Association to get more details and insights. It was amazing. All is well. And then, of course, I was impressed with how organization was done, which is fine. We like people to give the feedback that they enjoy what they see, and then naming the project, so then at least we know if that project is valuable. The way we feel it is valuable, yes, that's why we put it in there, but also, is it received that way? So when people comment like that, then yes, we are great to hear that. And then, of course, career day for students, definitely correct between the education and future endeavors. Perfect, because we were trying to inspire those children. So we like when people also see the value of that. Hopefully they can contribute or participate next time we ask. And then I think one of the respondents said, having done a mission trip to South Africa, Ghana, Haiti, I compared Tanzania, every aspect of the mission was thought out and executed at a very high level. The care and thoughtfulness paid to the needs of the recipients as well as members was amazing. Sharing resources exemplify Christian-like giving. And though the packing and prep was tasking, the result was worth, which I agree. It was amazing. It was a lot of work, yeah. Great teamwork, well prepared, well organized. Preparation of time was good. So yes, people can see the preparation, and usually that's how I try to include people in the group so they can see the how much it takes for you to participate in the medical mission. I don't want people just to see all the pictures that everybody is dressed up in the T-shirts and doing work, but they don't know how much is done behind the scenes. So putting everybody on the group, it helps, so people can see, yes, there's a lot of preparation behind the scene. And thank you for everybody who spent even one day or all the days to come and help us planning through the mission meetings, and then be able to actually be there and participate in sorting stuff out. So preparation was very good, involved pre-pack of the hospital and stuff, CPR. So all those people are acknowledging stuff. Another question was, invite more people, so more responses. Preparation was good. I was involved with the school and hospital, and also I was training stuff for CPR procedure, important keeping arrangement. So you can see people were, those people who were there also can feel being useful for all these things that have been done. And we try to include as much people as you can, so then people can feel, you spend a lot of money to come to the medical mission. We want to make sure that it's worthwhile. And then the donation shipment was shipped well, too little. Too little to do, too much downtime. There was very little to do in the police. Food was great. Safari was splendid. Too little to do, too much time. I'm not sure what I understand. I would like if that person put that information there to give me examples, so we know we can fix that next time. We make sure that everybody gets what they need to do. Strengthening the impact of capacity development, sure. Lots of work testing, yes, that's fine. Number 5, if you followed the 2024 medical mission, what was your favorite activities and why? They said medical, pediatric, and ward department ward around because of people, neonatal units in pediatric here at school. Speaking, I love to interpret. Okay. Identify the needs to school children will add and value. That's true. And then teaching the 7 principles, that was great experience by learning about God and meanings was my takeaway. Okay, that's good. I enjoy seeing the preparation. It's always bring me joy. My favorite was here attending the children's school, yes. Yes, a lot of healthcare workers usually likes also to go and see the children. So definitely we usually try to at least give you one day there so you can go and see. Future plans we are working on to try and make sure that if people are going to specific things, then they will be able to do those specific things. We are trying to figure out if how to make sure that people get what they sign up for. And then some more details later. And then of course the BLS CPR, great team demonstration. So people like that part, visiting school and the hospital and the safari, of course. And then the kids, medical training, 2 hours the medical training safari, 2 hours the okay, and hospital activity, it's added value to my career and patient at large. Agreed. CPR lessons, yes, interfacing with the young medical personnel in embassy. I'm not sure which hospital is that. Safari experiencing was unbeatable. Visit Maasai village was enlightening. Okay, good. In football, the excitement was incredible. Yes. Postpartum, yeah. So you can see all the responses. What area do we need to improve? Yeah, accommodation allowance, full-time participation, especially for Tanzanians, following instruction from organization leader. Annual plan to be shared as health professionals for input and stuff. Yes, so that's why we want people to participate. So if you want to be able to see the process from the beginning to the end and have your contribution in there, we invite you to come in, and that's why we do the meeting every month. And then we announce for sure what is coming and stuff. So if definitely you want to contribute and you want to be part of something, then you have to be able to commit. So once you declare, say, oh, I want to be on this part, and then we want you to be able to show up so we can hear what you are saying, so we can learn to incorporate or improve what we currently have and make it better. So that's why we are doing all this survey, to make sure that we can hear for everybody who wants to offer their suggestions. Sure, we are here to listen. CPR training should also teach people how to perform CPR outside the healthcare setting. In other words, CPR training without the use of supplies used to perform CPR in hospital. I agree. And definitely, if we are able to continue doing that part with the CPR group, they're going to figure it out how to streamline. So people who are doing healthcare, CPR in the healthcare setting, and then people who are doing CPR in the community too, what they need to do, and have enough supplies that is needed for the healthcare workers, and then whatever the supplies needed for the non-healthcare workers. So those are things that we are going to include, and I'm hoping whoever responded to that part will be able to join us in that group to be able to share their insight. That to me it was perfect. Let God continue to guide the mission. Thank you. I didn't see any, however, I thought it was really scary to see the lion too close to, which I understand. Usually the guide will help us, and they will try to put in the situation that is not risky. So the lion, most of the time, they know traditionally, if the lion eats, then usually they're going to be kind of like a comatose for like 6 to 8 hours. So that's the time usually you see they call each other to come and bring the people who are coming to see the national park at that time, so you can see the lion, because they know the lion is not going to be aggressive and stuff, because they're like so tired or wants to just wait until the food is digested. So they're not going to take to risk their life just because of being that close to the animal. So they know what they're doing. But I agree with you. Yes, it's scary, and of course we take all precautions we can. Okay, my volunteer is different healthcare profession. Yes, I can't think of anything now. That's fine. more volunteer in different healthcare profession. That's okay. Timing of the school year. Yes, it was arranged. So those are general information, which is great. It was arranged, increase the number of days, see a lot of people to reach. Yes, could use more structure, find more ways to engage. Too much downtime, consider partnering with a busier hospital than the police hospital. So we are working on that part. They were asking for training. And then, of course, their hospital is smaller. The one we went, it's smaller, yes. But we still also want to help the ones that they don't get to receive a lot of support. So even if it's a small hospital and we have an opportunity to work with them and collaboration with them, we are going to go there. But the planning is going to be a little bit different because it's going to be purposeful planning, meaning like, okay, if they have maybe emergency room, fewer patients. So people who are working emergency room, maybe they should go and work in ICU or go to do something else. If we have less people there, less patient there, then we can bring the team back to Mwananyamala. So there's a lot of discussion going on. And I mean, thank you for bringing it up, but we're going to try to make sure that people who are going in those areas have something to do. I agree. And if you, even if maybe let's say we plan for you to do postpartum hemorrhage and then they're doing CPR, you can jump in and go and help. We don't have to wait until your time to do postpartum hemorrhage. And then, yeah, because remember, most of the time we use the same trainees for both training. So it's have to be one after the other. So if you feel like your training, maybe it's the third hour, so the first hour and the second hour, you don't have anything to do, you can jump in and help be the second person or logistic person, help setting up, helping registration. You can put yourself to be busy versus just sitting down and waiting for your time to teach whatever you are planning to teach. That is going to make sure we use your time well versus just waiting for only the thing that you are scheduled to do. So there's a lot of stuff that we're going to make sure it's addressed before. We don't want people to just go there and just sit and wait. No, you can be useful. We can put you somewhere else to help, definitely. And thank you for bringing it up. Joe Bodan, vision needs more professional support. I agree 110% with you because definitely we need more people, more organized to make sure that we are purposefully in recruiting to make sure we have what we need. Have more people testing. So there's a challenge of having more people, and I'm glad somebody added that part because 2022 we had 47 from the United States to Tanzania. There were so many of us. It was great. But it also imposes the challenges. That means we might end up not staying in the same hotel. That means we have to use 2 or 3 shuttles. So the chances is going to be one delay or whatever, and then how are you going to leave the people behind? And then, of course, having a bigger group also add more drama. I mean, we all know that everywhere you go, there's drama. Some people likes to create drama to be center of attention. We understand that part. However, we want to make sure we take people who are purposefully, wants to go there and go and work. We always, I will quote Dr. Gwen, she always say, medical mission is not a vacation. So if you're going there to work, you're going to work and you have to be stand up and go and volunteer your time to go and help around, even if whatever you are doing is not happening at that moment. We're not going to cater an individual person. We can't, because we are going as a group, we work as a group, we do everything as a group. There's no individual things that need to be done and then taken care of. We can't do that part. So having too many people does not solve any problem. It creates more issues because having too many people, they are not 100% wants to be there, or they want to be able to relax and just go shopping. That is not going to help. So we want to purposefully qualify people to go with us so we can have a small amount of people, like what we did, 14 people from US and 9 people from Tanzania. But you can see effectively, we accomplished so much compared to last year or 2 years ago, because we are purposeful. Still, we have things to learn, I understand, but that's why we want your feedback to come in and say, if we need more people, where and how those people can be accommodated. Because if we increase number of people, then accommodation is going to be an issue. Because you're not going to have an hotel that you're going to secure 50 spots in the hotel for that time. So there's a lot of challenges, but we're going to keep working on it to try and make it better for everybody. Yes. Number 7, are you able to volunteer? So they said some people responded yes, and some people said no, which is fine. Volunteer is as the word said, volunteering. Helping us with fundraising event, yes. Some people say yes and give their email. Yes, I'm going to follow them up and then put you in the group that you requested. Definitely, we're going to do that part. So thank you for responding. So 17 people did say volunteer one way or the other, volunteer their answers one or the other, and then 5 people skipped it, which is okay. You can do whatever you need to do. Number 8, what are you suggesting and feedback to improve the organization and its function? So this is in general. So following a successful mission. Oh, so you are suggesting the organization could exchange people from Tanzania to US and learn more and exchange knowledge and culture. Secondary, because of the organization is global, people will be coming from mission from different places and accommodation here and aid allowance if possible for transportation. So that is a good point to raise. However, Qhsc is a voluntary and non-profit organization. We don't make money for anything. Every single person you see in the group spend money from their pocket. And that's why it's called volunteering. So with volunteering, that means when we come to Tanzania and ask our colleagues in Tanzania to help, we are asking exactly the same thing to volunteer, donate your time. If you're passionate to helping others, there's no reward. There's no amount of money I can pay you back for the time that you expend, because everybody is volunteering. They're coming in for hopefully one goal of helping others without getting anything in return. My reward is to see somebody's learning what they need to do about their healthcare, seeing the children are inspired to play soccer and jump up and down, say, I can do these things. Doing those, you guys are doing the career day, seeing the child say, oh, I can grow up to be a teacher. I can grow up to be a mechanic or whatever. I want that. That is my reward, because you're not going to pay me enough to do what I do. And that's how I see it. And I'm hoping other people will see it that way. So being able to pay or giving allowance for other people, we don't have that money. God will bless us. I know he will. And then he'll be able to give us the money. And then, of course, the organization has the money to say, okay, we're going to compensate for the transportation, or we are able to allow people from Tanzania to come and stay with us. We have to have funds. Right now, we don't. So that's why we can't afford to be able to do that part. You can come and eat with us. Great. We can come and go around to the medical mission transportation here and there. Yes, but we can't do individual transportation to come and bring you to where we are. We can't do that. We cannot afford that, because everybody's get the money out of their pocket. And then so this is something that we're going to continue doing until we get the funds and the organization can stand on its own. It means like it can generate the money, ongoing money to support or sustain our functions. Sure, we'll be able to do that. But at the moment, we don't have that funds. And doing the exchange program, if we bring you to United States, it's not like the organization has like maybe a hospital or something that we can come and work. Otherwise, you'll be like coming just to visit. But where are we going to get the funding to support that part? So it's a great idea, great noble idea to be able to do exchange, but we don't have the funds to support that suggestion. But thank you for sharing, though. We will do the best we can for what we have, and we hope whoever is volunteering has the same passion, the same mission of donating their time and help others. Opening branches in Africa, specifically Tanzania and Zanzibar. We do have an NGO in Tanzania, but it works with conjunction with Qhsc in the US. There's a lot of restrictions and things that are there in Tanzania to pose challenges for us to be able to have another branch, because if you have another branch, we do have an NGO, as I said, but it's not functioning on its own because of a lot of logistic stuff going on there. So we're still working behind the scene. If we are able to, yes, it becomes more alive. But right now it is there, which helps us to bring stuff to Tanzania and be able to transfer from Qhsc US to Qhsc in Tanzania, to be able to have that seamless transaction, to be able to do those stuff in Tanzania. Zanzibar, adding another branch, is going to be requiring more people to be involved. Are those people willing to do volunteer work, or they're expecting to be paid? We can't pay anybody, so we are not going to extend those things to area that we can't pay people. broadening your fundraising event. Having said that, I don't know exactly how you will do it. Maybe dinner event. Yes, thank you for even saying that. There's a lot of things that are coming. I know Mrs. Christine Behunek had that idea of doing a dinner event. There's some more stuff behind the scene coming. We are going to have a gala, which is going to be next year. More details comes next month to tell you what other things are going to be doing, who is going to be on the gala to try and work and raise funds. So there's things that are coming behind the scene. And also we're asking people to, if you want to help us, sure. I'm not sure about creating a garden. That would be a great idea. The garden for what? What are we going to be doing with the garden? So I wish I know, and then I can answer appropriately, but I'm not sure if I understand starting a garden. More shoes for the children, definitely. That is the area that we know, starting with the sports and also the children at school. We all know that if somebody knows a plan, everything that you can do. I know Mrs. Miss Charlotte had a plan before, and we're going to work with her to try and figure out, make it a reality. So if it happens, then we're going to, if we need help in that area, we're going to ask more people to come and join us. Thank you for that, whoever wrote that, that suggestion. I don't have any given. Oh, so I'm glad somebody acknowledged that, but having people in the group and then be able to see how things are done is always our goal, to make sure that you see how the process is, so you can see the mission, and then you can choose to be part of it after understanding the expectation, because we don't want you to join in and find out, oh, that's too much work, I'm going to run away. No, we want you to see how much it takes to get where we are and how much your contribution can help us to even further our goal. Oh, another comment is maybe a beginner basic language. I know we had the Swahili language a little bit, a group before. I'm not sure what happened to it. Dedicated team leads so that Dr. G and P can oversee them. Thank you for whoever wrote that. That's what I'm asking. I need help. I would love to have people who can do it, and then I can contribute to where I needed. I would love to have that. But yes, we are still growing, and thank you for noticing that part. And that's why we need more people. So if somebody can come and say, you know what, I'll be happy to do this part, I would be happy to do this part. I want people who are willing to do it. I don't want to ask somebody and then they say, oh, you asked me, I didn't want to say no. No, I want people who can hear this and say, I want to do that. So you'd be willing to come and work with us. And then, of course, we'll be so happy to share that responsibility with everybody else. As long as you are passionate, your goal is to help others, we would love to have your help. So thank you for noticing that part. And I'm glad you're thinking out loud. Focus on optometrists. Definitely. I know this is an area that we really, really, really need to improve about optometrists, because a lot of parents, teachers, children in Tanzania, they do not have routine eye exam. So having a solid team that we know for sure they will go and do the work, it will be a blessing. So I'm hoping people who knows people who wants to work in that area, please let me know. And I know Mr. Steve Jones is already working behind the scene. Dr. Siakabe also working with him behind the scene to try and get people going. And I know Ms. Veronica also did suggest to the person to come and help us with that. Definitely we want help. And that project is very, very important, because remember, you can't work if you can't see. You're not going to be hired anywhere if you cannot see. And then, of course, their family is going to suffer because there's no income coming from their family. So if they're able to read and can go and get a work, that will save them, their children, and the community. And that's what we want, impacting that family and that community. The organization is doing a great job. Thank you for acknowledging that. Well organizing, see. So all these things, thank you for this feedback. We're almost done. Do you want to become an active member? So 13 people said, responded yes and no. And happy to share your expertise. And then, of course, some people have mentioned their expertise. I'm going to contact those people individually to share, to see where they are and then how they can help the organization. Number 10, in order to grow fund, we need, in order to grow, we need funds. And then do you want to join fundraising group? And people were able give me their email, and then 12 people skip, which is fine. But those who responded, I am going to get in touch with you so you can help us continue with that part. And then the last question is, do you feel you have expertise that Qhsc can benefit from you? So 13 people responded, and thank you for those who responded. I'm going to contact you individually and be able to answer those questions, and then we'll be able to do what we need to do. Okay, so those are all my feedback. And again, I'm going to take this opportunity to say thank you, and thank you for everybody who has volunteered or did anything for QHSC, whether it's planning or donation or even offer suggestions. And then so we really, really appreciate you. And without you, we're not going to be able to go anywhere. So I really, really thank you from the bottom of my heart. And on behalf of QHSC, we say thank you. You had your hand, Ms. Poso?
Oh, yeah, well, I was actually clapping for everybody, but I did have my hand up earlier. I was going to say that actually at Minazini, I don't remember exactly what it is, but I know you remember that they had started to redecorate, some of the common areas there. They put down some stone. They actually, in front of some of the classrooms too, have started planting different herbs and things like that. So I'm not sure when they were talking about planting what they were talking about, but at Minazini, yes, they have started planting some herbs and different things and stuff like that. And they actually do share that with the students.
Okay.
So my heart is full.
Good. Any other questions? Any comment? People who have gone to Tanzania, any of your feedback, please?
Yeah, and I had one other thing I wanted to say earlier too. For the stay in school program that's with the sanitary pads. I think from what I observed, that really, really motivated the teachers, because it's not something that teachers are required to do. We have like 2 volunteers at the school, and then we have the leadership there who, of course, they help us in any way that they can. And so it could be any of those 4 maybe who may be at one of the sessions, but the teachers really come out for that. They really participate, and it really impacts the community. So that's why when we gave them the disposable sanitary pads, and we were discussing that between you and I, we realized that that wasn't going to last. By the time those young ladies got home with those sanitary pads and their families and everything, it wasn't going to last them maybe a month or 2 at the most or something like that. So I think with the reusable ones, it's really it impacts some of the teachers, believe it or not, and the students and their families. And if one of the reasons why we have not expanded to another school is because we already have another school at Minazini. There's 2 schools at Minazini. So if we do decide to expand the program, we don't have to go far at all. So that's it.
Okay. Anybody? Any questions about the amount spent, amount shared, feedback from the survey? Yes, Ms. Valentine?
What? No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Bree?
No questions. I mean, I feel like we, like you said, some of the amount, we definitely spent more in some areas. So, but that's it.
Yeah, and I got when I was listening to that, I have a suggestion, because I remember that our prayer warrior and Dr. Dina Komakoma, when we first went to Dodoma, they had cracked out the laptop and they were gathering all the statistics for everything that we were doing. Really did a good job. So I think what we could do is, when we're there, I know we want to capture as much of that information in terms of the donations and everything before we get there, and we'll do our best for that. But also, when we're there, maybe we could have one of the someone do the same thing. Maybe we can come up with a spreadsheet with everything, or information that just needs to be filled in like we had before, and then let those people, it could be healthcare worker, non-healthcare worker, because that can almost become like a little a little job for an individual or two people within itself. So one could report on the school, and then one could capture the healthcare stuff, and then just really combine all that information and do that stuff in real time while we're there. So that might be another responsibility that we could try to see if we can figure out how to assign that to someone.
No, I agree. Definitely. We're gonna need to have, even before we ship, we're gonna need to have either another mentee or another somebody who wants to do your school project or something like that. So then they will be able to capture things that we before we send it. And then while we are there, definitely when we're getting all this stuff out, so somebody can be doing it. And then those are things that let's say sometimes people say, oh, I don't know if I can walk, I don't know if I can do this. But if somebody wants to be able to do those logistic stuff, registration and stuff, it could be that you can between training, you can do and add those stuff. That's fine. I said we have to have kind of like actually planning, and then somebody should be like a little coordinator between the group to have those statistics as we go, because it does help to capture, okay, how many people did we do today, how many people do that, and then what surprise do we give, how much do we give out, because everywhere it is. I mean, even when we were in Mwananyamala and Kilwa, they said, how much is the thing that you gave us, the donations estimate, because they have to report also. They have to do inventory and say Qhsc gave us these items and then worth this much. So when they ask me, so I just give them the like an estimate, but I know for sure probably I'm way off, because all those wheelchair commodes and pads and blankets and stuff that I saw them when we were sorting stuff out, because people started opening their suitcase, the second suitcase, and I see all this stuff. I was excited, but I'm like, oh, I don't know how much it is gonna be. But no, it's something that we need to address it to help ourselves. So then when it comes to like now, we can have an accurate number saying, and I know for sure it's more than $50,000, but I didn't want to overestimate and then be to be way off. But I know it's more than that, because these are the things that at least I know from the donation part and the list that we shipped. I can just estimate around it to say it costs to $50,000, but I know it's more than that. Because we had almost 8 wheelchairs and then 5 commodes, and then we had all those ventilators, probably like 100 and something ventilator tubing, which I know is way more than the amount that we thought. So those are just only 3 things, but we had so many stuff. So we need to do a little bit better. So we're gonna be encouraging people to help us when we are donating. Maybe we capture that time when people are donating. But as I said, I always get that people don't want to say, because they said, I know I'm giving you, I don't want you to know how much I gave, which I understand and I respect that, because people are giving because they want it to be useful and not because they want the money back. I'm not, yeah. So usually I ask because I want to estimate, so then we can report the IRS people when we're filing tax in January. You're gonna say, how much do you have this year? How much was in-kind donation? I mean, all those donations, we need to say how much they were. But yeah, no, so that's good. I mean, I really appreciate people who did the survey, because without saying those things, I wouldn't know if whatever we are doing is being received the way I hope it is received. So when people start asking questions or asking those things, I want to know those things so I can address it. It's something that I think, okay, no, that's not our intention. I need to be able to address. Or if you appreciate what we're doing, then at least I said, okay, whatever we are doing, we're doing something right, so people receive what the message we are sending. Because remember, we can be here thinking, oh, we are all that great, and people be like, oh, God, help us all. So we need to be able to match that, our vision and your expectation, it needs to match so we can continue grow and do well. So I do, accept and agree a lot of answers from the survey, and I really appreciate people who took the time to respond, because that's how we can learn from it. And as I said, you guys answered the right question. Answer the right responses, so for us to learn from it. And then definitely we know those areas of improvement, and we knew some of them, and now at least we know it's validated by you guys pointing it out. So we know for sure we need to address that and make it better. As I said, more details for the next meeting, because we're going to have plans of things, that projects that we're going to do, timeline of things that we need to do. And then, of course, that's the time. Hopefully, I will have those email from individuals who provide their emails. And then whoever is watching the video now and they want to be part of it, just let me know. We can add you to the whatever the group that you are suggesting. And then we hope that if you commit, you really show up. Because I know every single person is busy. I understand. I can testify that every single person is busy. Nobody is not busy. It doesn't matter what you're doing in your life. Every single person is busy. So when you commit and we are hoping that you're going to show up, that means we value your time for you being there so we can stop whatever we are doing, come and meet everybody else. So if you don't show up, it kind of discouraging everybody. And then therefore, if you don't say that you're not coming, then you're also discouraging people, because next time when we plan, how are we going to rely on you if you don't even acknowledge that we were having a meeting or gathering, or we're waiting for your suggestions. So I am hoping, and that's why I'm saying, I don't want to start saying, well, you do this, you do that, because I know sometimes people say, oh, I don't want to say no to you. I'm like, no, no, I want you to be nice to me, but I don't want you to be nice and then go and be stressed out on that side because, oh my goodness, now she's asking me to do that. I don't want to do that. And that's why I'm putting blindly out there, say, if you want to join us, I am happy to work with you. But I want you to want to come, not me forcing you to come. So, and that's why I put this in survey, because I want to make sure people who are volunteering and wants to do it, they're doing it because they're willing to do it. And I'm 100% willing to share that responsibility. And I appreciate, I think 3 people said that delegate. I'm very good in delegating. If I see people who can do it. If I know that you can do it and you're willing to do it, you will find out. Because I'll be adding more stuff to you to help, because I know you're willing to do it. So that's why I'm asking from my heart, just if you're willing to do it and you want to do it, come and join us. I'll be happy to share. And for those people who went to medical mission, I know, yes, it was a lot of work. I understand. But I want people to say, I want to lead this team. I want to do in charge of that. I'll be so happy. You have no idea. Because I'll be like, okay, this is what we have. This is what is expectation. What do you want to do? What do you think you can do that? But how can you make it better? And I will let you do it and fly along. As long as I know for sure you're going to keep us updating, you'll keep us in touch so we don't lose the ball. And I know sometimes things, life happen. I know that. You might volunteer, you want to do it, and then say, oh, something came up. I understand that, but just let me know. So then I don't have to assume you're going to help me, but then you can't. Hi, Miss Audrey. I love your profile picture.
I wasn't able to do the survey because I'm not at home. I've been traveling between South Carolina and Georgia. And so I've been on the road so much, I didn't do the survey. I'm very sorry. But
No,
I do.
it's okay. Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you guys now.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, now I can hear you. Okay, so 2 suggestions. I would love to be leadership in something here on the New York side, because do some fundraising, and like when we did the reusable pad project, I think we could have like packaged it before going, you know? So I would like to do something like that, package it before going. And then while I was there, speaking to the downtime that someone mentioned, maybe someone can learn CPR, other people can learn CPR, so that in that area, it's a very simple thing to learn. We could have more volunteers in that area to offer the service rather than everyone sitting around. Because I did see people griping about sitting around a lot. But like you said, if you jump in there, you can have something else. I'm sorry, you heard that, but Dr. Gabone heard me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was going to add, so you can ask, let's say, some of the other volunteers that came to the school. So, sometimes we don't really harp on the downtime because, believe it or not, we grind when we're there. So there might be a day when we're really grinding and we're sweating. We get done late in the day. So if there's another day when we're a little down and, whatever.
I don't think it was
like
the
even
school. I know where it was. It was in the hospitals. It wasn't the school, because I heard a lot of it. And it's like, jump in and do something. Like, what are you sitting there for? Do something. We had a lot to do, breaking things, putting things up, breaking things down, asking people, it's a lot you could do if you really want to jump in there. So I understand the downtime thing, but give suggestions as to how we can make it better, you know? Yeah.
Mm,
Okay. That's my spiel.
No, thank you
Everybody
very
have a
much.
good day. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. So I do acknowledge the downtime part. So some of the stuff like if I'm gonna say give an example at the hospital. So let's say one group, Kiro, for example, we have all 34 people in the group in the training center, and then there's 3 training sessions. So that means there's postpartum hemorrhage, CPR, and the help baby breathe. So we have 34 people in one place, and we're giving them a lecture before we start teaching. So that means only one program at a time is going to be.
Right.
So the other 2 group, if you can't participate with that group, let's say they're doing CPR, and I'm not good at CPR. I'm giving example for Bree. Sorry, Bree. Yeah, so Bree's teaching CPR. Oh, when she was doing AKG, that's a good example. When she's doing
Yes.
AKG, okay, I know myself, maybe I'm not good in AKG, so but Bree is teaching AKG, and then everybody's listening. Yes, I can rest there for half an hour, but if the class goes to an hour, we can say, okay, so can you go to the unit? Go and do it.
Right.
I mean, because we are in there, remember, everybody has their expertise. And if you say, okay, can I just go and talk to the nurses in the ER who are not in the training? Nobody's going to say no. So, I mean, we have to have people who are willing to do those stuff. We don't want to start ordering people around, hey, you stand up, go. You know, I mean,
Yes.
want to do
Yes.
that.
I mean,
And then I agree, for example, people also jet lag. So people responded to jet lag differently. Some people have their hours up. They can't stay awake during the day. They can't sleep at night. So sometimes they need a little 5 minutes to say, you know what, let me just sit here and catch myself up or whatever. Let me get a little Z's and rest and then work. So we respect enough. Everybody's an adult. So when you are there, we want to make sure that you can advocate for yourself. If you feel like, okay, there's nothing to do. Can I go? Or can I start? Is there something I can do? If you want to ask, sure. But if you want to be able to volunteer, yeah. And I know, Audrey, I always give an example as Audrey, because if we're doing infant CPR and stuff, and she was doing that, she would just jump in there and start getting people to come and say,
Yeah.
yeah, so you come and be helpful, useful for that part. So we want people to be wanting to do, because remember, I said, everybody's going there as a volunteer. It's different, for example, if I hired you, pay for your hours, and I expect you to be working, then I'm going to come and say, come on, Valentine, go and work. I mean, because I know I'm paying you, like I'm ordering right now. When you come in as a volunteer, we respect enough your time and you respect our time, saying, okay, if I volunteer to come up here, I'm going to spend time with you, then I'm going to help. Then get up and ask for something to do instead of being told all this time. Because as I said, sometimes people, you don't feel good. I mean, women, sometimes we are nowadays, so I just don't feel like moving right now. So, but I should be able to advocate, and you can't just sit there and start complaining as if you're waiting to just be told every single thing.
Right.
Yeah. So we try to create a balance and respect your time, respect you for you being there as an adult, but also advocate for yourself. That would be great. I suppose I know you had your hand for a while. Sorry.
yeah. Oh no, that's okay. I was gonna say, so I think we have a great group. That's what I was gonna say earlier, but it kind of ties into what we're saying. We have a great group. Our core, I feel that this year our core is gonna be a little bigger, and we're gonna have, we look at things, from a leadership perspective. So we're gonna have a little more of a solid core, and then we're gonna have a little more of a kind of like a supportive core, because you have some volunteers who will just, they're there. We need this, we need that. They're there all the time. You don't even have to go looking for them. You're working with them regularly. So we're going to have a little bit more of that. And then we're going to have a little bit more of the volunteers who maybe they're extremely busy, but they're still there. They're willing to help. And what we're getting this year as well, after the last mission, is we're finding people who say, yeah, I can't go on the mission, but I want to help. I want to be able to do whatever I can from an educational perspective or from a medical perspective. And then we talked about the team lead. So if we really push that aspect of it, let's say someone like Muuguzi, Audrey, and then we have Bree, they can actually, maybe we can kind of divide ourselves out and then say, okay, well, you know what, we're going to do postpartum hemorrhage, but Bree, you're going to take a group over there. Well, I mean, unless Bree does that, and then we'll have another group go and do CPR with somebody else, all at the same time too. So that's possible, or they could be in 2 different hospitals or places at the same time. Even though I know we want to try to keep everybody together, because for logistics, it just gets really hard to be shipping everybody around to different hospitals and stuff like that. It gets very, very expensive. And then you can see how unreliable the drivers and the transportation can be and stuff like that. So I think when we talked about the amount of people, what we realize is that when we go there, they're really not ready. That their infrastructure is really not ready in terms of businesses to handle large volumes of people. So, like, let's say you show up in Tanzania, we got a group of 100 people. That would break the system there. You were not going to find any company that has that many bus drivers. You won't have restaurants that can seat the people, unless you're going to. Even if you went to one of the 5-star hotels, they wouldn't have enough beds for everybody. So the large groups make it a bigger challenge. So that's why we kind of keep everybody together. But I think with the team needs, maybe at the specific location, maybe we can kind of divide it up a little more, and then people can go and can help. And then one thing I was going to mention too, and I know Victoria's here. I don't know if she can speak. And I wasn't there to see Audrey, but I did keep tabs on her, and I know that I know that she did an excellent job and everything. Another one, Valentine is here. When she was there, they took the bull by the horns. They fell in love with what they were doing. Nobody had to really. I mean, I felt like I was on a lot of downtime when I was in Dodoma, and Valentine and Catherine and everybody was running off and working all day long. So, I mean, I think it depends on the individual. And that's why I bring up Ms. Jones, because she went there. And the second time when we went back to Dar es Salaam, she just went off on her own. She just established her contact. Same thing, kind of a little bit like what Dr. Gwen does. They establish their contact. They know what they're going to do. And then they go off and they do what they got to do. So you don't even see them around with you anymore because they're off doing whatever it is that they have to do. So, I mean, it is possible for us to do, or we have done, more than one thing at a time. So I think maybe somewhere in the middle, we can find a way of, especially for the newer people, if you've never been there, maybe you're not going to be like, let's say, a Miss Jones or somebody like that who can just go there and, just start jumping in. Even like I said, I wasn't there to see Audrey, but I know that she was, very involved. Even when we got to the school, she still jumped in and, helped out and stuff like that or whatever. So, that's, I think we'll find a way, we can find a way to meet them halfway. So.
No, so the idea is we have seen that part. And for example, I can't not be in 2 or 3 places and hope that I can oversee people. I know it's impossible. That's what we're gonna ask before we go. People are gonna meet in a group. I'm going to give an example, sorry for Bree. So let's say Bree is in charge of the CPR. So CPR is going to be Bree's baby. So meaning that she's going to have 4 or 5 people, whatever the number of people she needs. And then so she will have, let's say, 5 people working with Bree. So they're going to know who is going to be there, who is going to do what and when, what type of the training they're going to do, how many days in the hospital they're going to be there. Because we're going to be able to, we want next time we're going to the medical mission, it's like you're doing a shift 7 to 3. So you actually get there at 7, and then you'll be able to do whatever you need to do until 3 or 4, whatever. We know healthcare workers, we can't tell Valentine and Catherine, who stayed until 8:30 to deliver baby. So
Right.
then I think that we need to be able to say somebody's leading. So if we know for sure the team is complete and everybody does what they need to do, I don't need to be there. I don't. Not to say like you go in Tanzania, just not to be there, like they are say encouraging her. Okay, so Audrey is going to do the sanitary party for 2 or 3 schools. And she has 3 or 4 people, maybe Miss Veronica and everybody else who wants to be on that project. So as long as we give them, this is the school, this is how many kids are, these are the time slot you are given to this school. So you need to go. So that morning, they're going to be able to say, okay, we transported there. I don't need to be there. You go there and represent what Qhsc is. I don't need to be there. And then, so those are the things that we need to go and do. We need to do those before we get there. So by the time you get there, you know for sure. What Dr. Sekabe was just talking about, Mrs. Victoria Jones and Dr. Gwen Randall, what they do is because we started communicating with them now before we go there. So Dr. Gwen will host like 2 training here, so she knows who she's talking to. As soon as we get there, we say, Dr. Gwen, see you. in the evening. So she would go in the morning and see the anesthesia that she's been talking to them all this time, go in the ICU and stay there, come during lunchtime, and then she disappears again, and then time to leave. And that's what they're able to do. The same thing Mrs. Victoria Jones, when she was doing burn training in the Muhimbili, she knew Dr. Mrema before even we go there. So they already know you're going to come in with a bed sheet. She had like 60 bed sheets because you know that patient with burn, they bleed and stuff and mess up their sheets. So she bought like 60 sheets. So they know she's coming with that. She went with the glasses. She know they're coming that. So when we got there, we say bye. They took her the whole day she worked and she came back in the evening. And that's why we want to be able to do that for each project. So then I don't have to be there like we're calling people and like that. So we know for sure as soon as you get there, you know who you are communicating with. You just go and work, and then we say at 12 o'clock we meet for lunch, or 3:30 or 4 o'clock we're leaving. So that's what we want to do. And that's why I want people to be leads in each project, so then they can lead their own group. And then I don't have to like running around. I can worry about other things overhead versus just individual projects.
Hi, Dr. Gabone.
Hey there, Miss Victoria. Hi.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi.
So I'm listening. Can I speak to that?
Yes.
So when I went that year and worked in the hospital, came that I was really ill, and it was just like it wasn't foreign territory, if you know what I mean. When I worked in that capacity. So it was just like I was just coming home to another family. And so it wasn't like something strange or whatever. I just blended right in, just in another location doing what I do. And so for me, the educational piece is a whole new, I'm learning it. And I'm not as agile, doable. And, if I had my way, I had my choice, I would go back to Burns and do it all over again. But yes, I am, trying to be flexible and be wherever I need to be.
Yes, so which is good, Victoria, because if you are in the project, even if you are as a teacher now, still, when we know for sure for the next mission, we'll be able to say, okay, this is the things that we are planning. You already communicate with the teachers over there. They know you're going to come and do this. They know you're going to maybe share your lesson plan. They know you're going to have the kids. We're going to have the collaboration meeting. So if they know that when you get there at school, you know for sure, oh, this is Mwalimu Esther. So you work with them and start doing whatever you're supposed to do instead of waiting for like Dr. Siakabe to say, okay, wait, let me walk you to Esther. Oh, let me walk you to this part. Because by then you don't know those people. We want to change that. We want to be able to have that collegial relationship with them even before we get there. So that means we're going to have some meetings here, talk to them, even if it's half an hour, just to be familiar. And then, okay, we are coming this, what do you need in that area? Oh, we need this, we need that, we need that. Okay, how many kids, students do you have, or the girls or whatever? We have that information. So we communicate with them as soon as we get there. We say, oh, here's Miss Audrey. This is the person that you've been communicating with that. Okay, now you can go. So we don't have to worry about, you don't have to wait for me to walk you there. You don't have to wait for me to go to the administration person to come and call you or connect you with them. So we want to change that. And that's why we want people to take ownership and leadership on those projects and own it. So once you own it, you never see me hovering over you. I'm just going to be asking a question what you're doing, but I don't want to be over you to see what exactly step by step. And I want, of course, you to come and talk to me and say, okay, this is where we are. So what do we need to do here? Or we need this, or we need that part. I'm going to get those people connection to you. And then when you have those meetings, I will sit in there, let you run that meeting. So then if there's any issue, maybe translation or something like that, or administrative thing that I need to clear, maybe get a permission later or something, or I can do that without any problem. But I want you to own that project. It's going to be your baby. So then I want you to see you do it. And I always just enjoy seeing people jump up and start doing their own thing. And I don't have to keep reminding or take you or hold your hand. If you do need me to hold your hand, sure. But otherwise, I might walk away like somebody here and then be able to let you shine on your own and take lead. And now she doesn't even need me to help anymore. So those are things that I'm hoping a lot of people will take ownership. So people wants to lead a project, let me know. But if you commit, I'm in the beginning, I'm going to be probably with you all the time. because I want to make sure you're doing something right. Because once you come there and represent QHSC, I want to make sure that you represent QHSC well. And I'm going to give you all the tools you need to know about QHSC to be able to say, yes, you can speak of it without even me being there. And that's what I want to be on that level. And then if you're there like that, you won't see me hovering over you at all. And then so I'm hoping people will take on ownership. And I mean, I enjoy what I do. So I want you to enjoy also and spread your wings. Right, Valentine?
Yes, yes, indeed.
Yes, it is. Yes, that would be great. But any other comment? I mean, I appreciate all those feedback, definitely. Any other comment? Questions? Ms. O, do you have anything to say? No? Okay, we have
Yeah, I was going to say in reference to the language, we did a class actually. So when the volunteers was the first time we did it, we got to Minazini and they actually did a lesson for the volunteers. They did a Swahili lesson, and it was kind of rough, but it was a total physical response lesson, and that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a shock, because it we'll find a way to kind of like separate ourselves from the language and not really be confronted with it. You know, people will just like, okay, well, I can get by without learning the language. But once you're in that class with the total physical response, you don't have a choice. So the shock is there. It's powerful. We also have recommend Duolingo, and we were going to do a lesson. I think it was like 2 years ago. We wanted to do a lesson. I don't think we ever did do it. But maybe what we could do is we can have like a little Zoom meeting where we go over some of the basics of Swahili, and then maybe we can have a Zoom meeting as well where we have someone from Tanzania to go over, like we said before, either educational or medical terminology and things like that. And that can help to get everybody, better prepared for when they go to Tanzania. But it's also the same thing. Still, again, it's the consistency. So, I mean, I went there, and I think if I used, 10 sentences, that was 10 sentences more than I did the year before, which was probably 6 words, which was 6 words more than I did the year before that. So it's Haba na Haba. So, but we'll try to do a little more around the language. And like I said, maybe we'll do a session, and then if we can get someone to join us from TZ as well, then we can do that as well too. Or even somebody from here like Irene, someone who's willing to show all the fancy Swahili that she knows.
we are trying to do things a little bit different than before. So as he says about the language, yes. So if it's something that you're interested in to learn, those just basic things, necessity, like water, bathroom, whatever. Those basic things that you need to do, you always start easy that way. And then go the conversational language part, like greetings and stuff like that. So that's what you need to do. By the time you get to structure, at least you know a few extra words, then you start to put them together and try to do. You're going to probably mess up the grammar, who cares? But I think that we get the gist of what you want to say. So if you want water and stuff or like that, just 2 words, that we understand, because they're used to a lot of foreigners that are able to speak, like very, very few words, but they will be able to communicate, and then they will help you through it. So you being less resistance to learning, it's going to allow you to be able to hear it and learn easily. And then if we get enough people, you can have that either every month, half an hour, people are going to do this and that. And then, of course, in fact, that's put me to another thing. So we are going to have a new website for the organization. So the new website is going to be more interactive in a sense that there'll be a lot of stuff. If you go there, you can see all your fundraising, you can see all the meetings, you can see all the communication. And then so if one of the classes the language, because remember, this language that we are talking about, it doesn't mean that you're going to get at the end of the the language, you're going to get a grade. No, this is just a conversational language to make people like, if I hear something like this, I mean, yes, somebody is happy to have me or whatever, greetings and stuff like that. So it can be there. People use it like a sounding board or posting board to put those here. So make it interactive. So something that we can put in a website, people can have that your traffic and go and, oh, let me see in this week or this month, what are they posting on the something to learn about Tanzania or whatever. We can have something like that to have people involved. We are going to have a lot of fundraising different times. So it's going to be all of that in the website. So it's almost like everything in one place. And then so we hope that we have that traffic and help that. So the weeks that we've had for last 4 years, it is helpful, but it's very, I would say, mechanical in a sense that you have to change and move so many buttons or whatever to be able to make it move. Nowadays, if you see a lot of website, a web-based website, it means like you can see smoothness between one screen to the next, like you scroll up or scroll down, make it easier for you to access things. So we are trying to move stuff away that way and then to try and make sure that we can increase the communication. A lot of, let's say, volunteering, even now, if people wants to volunteer for a project or something to be involved, we're going to go to the website and put that information in there. So let's say Miss Audrey is doing that sanitary pad project, and then the project is posted there. So you can log in there and say, my name is Harriet, I want to be able to be that part. So she will have that information to say, okay, Miss Audrey, somebody, Harriet, register on that group. So we want to make sure it is interactive in a sense that we make it almost like, all the information about the organization, all the activities of the organization is like right there. So for the people who are going to be team leads, if somebody asks you a question, so what do you mean? What is Qhsc? What does it stand for? You can say, here's the website, go here, you can see. It makes it even easier for you to know where things are. Versus now, I was talking to somebody, so they were asking me, what about Qhsc? So then it means I have to like start searching information to try and get it to you. And then you lose that momentum because you don't have confidence enough to advocate for Qhsc. We want to try to change that to make sure people are prepared. And then when you say, oh, I need to do the sanitary pad. Okay, so people said, I want to help you. So you can say, oh, you know what? This is the year 2023, they did this, they did the disposable. This is how much they have. This is the pictures. 2024, we did this. I mean, I want you to be able to say that without me being there. And that's the part which we want to make sure the website, we give you that information for those projects. We post those information like what I was using right now, like a little slide to know what activities we've done. So if right now, if you use that slide, you can take it and say, this is when we went to the Medical Commission 2024, this is how many people we did. This is how, I mean, I don't have to be there to explain. You have that testimony on one screen. And so those are the things that if you're a leader in a project, you have more information to share with people that you work with, and you're more confident, and then to give you more leeway to say, okay, this is how I can do better, because you know at least how the organization is. And that's what we want to arm you to be able to do that part. And as the secretary, so you can coordinate with all these people around to make sure those things are working, and then to try and make it a little bit more seamless. So I am trying to relieve a lot of information, a lot of responsibility that I've been doing. I'm trying to get you guys come aboard and then help me and take ownership of that part, so I don't have to. So then I can work with other things that will help grow the organization, like focusing on money. We need money. So I need to start working, focus on that part, while you guys help me with all these different roles that I've been doing so far. And that's why I want people to want to do it. I don't want to order you around to say, you have to do this for me. No, I don't want to do that. Because as I said, everybody's busy. Everybody's busy. And I appreciate your time and I respect your time. So definitely. Teresa, Miss Teresa, do you have anything to say?
All
Oh, hi.
the time. I'm just listening.
Okay. Any
Yeah.
comment, questions, something?
No, I think all the questions I had, they were answered, because even when you were talking about the sanitary pad project or program, in my head, I didn't know if it was like reusable ones or disposable ones. Because I was like, I think reusable ones might be, but I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. So that's why my voice sounds like this. But then, like he mentioned, that you guys transition to reusable pads, if that's what I heard.
No, so we
Yeah.
did last year, we did the disposable ones. This year we did reusable ones. So now, from now on, we're not going back. We're gonna keep reusable. And I know Miss Audrey, Miss Veronica, and I think Miss Rukia or somebody else also. They wanted to, I mean, there's more stuff coming in there. So they want to make sure that project also, we can empower the girls over there, or young women, I should say, over there to make it or sew it or grow them, so then they don't have to be buying or spending money. So there's a lot of stuff, exciting things coming out, and that's why I want people to take ownership for it because I know that is one thing that is really needed, because it's going to change the young women's life, because these girls have been missing school 5 days every month. So for them to be fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, so 4 years, for 4 years, every month they miss 5 days.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
60 days, 60 days in a year. And then for 4 years, they miss school. So where do you think they're going to be? They're going to fall behind. And then when they not do well after the 7th grade, we say, oh, they're not smart enough. Really? So we need to be able to empower these young ladies to be able to say, okay, I can attend it to school. If they want to go and stay in school, we want them to go and stay in school. And as I said, for the feedback from Esther Chambo, that's the deputy head teacher for Minazin, she said the girls are loving us. They are loving us because they're not missing school. They're not having all those accidents. So they can go to school proud. There's attendance is 100%. So I said, oh, that's, yeah, I don't know. When I start talking about that, but I will never finish this meeting. Yeah, so no, they're so happy. And that's why the other school, next door there, they were asking, can they come and help us? I felt bad and I started crying, but anyway, I don't need to cry right now. But yeah, so I was like, no, we need to do better. We need to do better for these young girls who wants to go to school. We need to do better. Yes.
Yeah. So I like that transition. And I also had a question actually about like, does the organization have a social media presence?
Yes, we do, and we need to grow it. We do have we have, oh, where's my,
I'll talk to it too when you're done. Speak to that.
yeah, so we have so many of them. I don't know if you can see on my caps on. So we have YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, what is the word?
Instagram.
Huh? Oh, Instagram, yes.
Insta
Yeah, Instagram, yes. And then also we have the website too, yes. So we there's a team that is gonna be working on that part. And then so if anybody who is interested to join them and for their leads, so you can spread the word, yes. So there is a huge project coming behind with the social media, because we want to make sure we expand our presence in the community, not only just Florida, the whole world, because also in Tanzania, we want to be able to be visible. So that's why we want people to lead those projects. Because if somebody takes it away off my hand and they're good in those being creative stuff, then yes, you can join that team for Dr. Siakabe and Bree and somebody else. I don't remember who's the other person, but yeah. So if you guys are interested in, oh, Mr. Steve Jones, yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, so if you are interested in those areas and you want to help and you can spread the word, they will share you the content and stuff when you spread the word. There's a team that you can join. As I said, next month we're going to post the area that you can join in for those projects, so people can say, okay, I want to be on this group with Miss Audrey, or I want to be with this group with Dr. Siakabe or with Bree. We want people to be able to actually recommend themselves to those positions and then own it, like be able to participate. If you guys, they're asked to come in, to go to the meeting, yes. I mean, I know people works, I understand. I'm not, I can't, I'm working that day, but after the meeting, come back and see the minutes, give your feedback. So continue. I know maybe the day majority of the people can meet is Monday night. I'm just giving an example. And Monday night is your work day. I understand you can't go then physically, then provide a suggestion before, listen to the audio recording, and then provide the feedback, even if you can't be there, but still you can participate by communications. And that's what we want, people who are committed. And as I said, everybody's busy. So I'm not going to take that excuse of saying that everybody's busy, because we are all busy. But I understand, for example, people that have family emergencies or things come into play and you can't do it, which is fine. I mean, I'm not taking anything to say that, oh, now you're abandoning me. No, I would never say that, because if you can't do it, I want to make sure that you take care of yourself. That's fine. But if you want to join us and we want to work with us, please be present so we can do well. You said you want to do something?
Yeah, well, I'll let Muuguzi Audrey go first because she has her hand up and I don't want her
Oh,
to
sorry, I
forget
didn't.
what she was going to say. And then I'll address Drusilla once she's done.
Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say it's a great idea to have a learning a language learning, because when I was doing the CPR, I did learn pole pole. That's about it. But like some of the things, like teaching them how the depth is to do the compressions,
Okay.
and even with the oncoming project with the reusable pad, teaching them how to clean it, teaching them
Yes.
which ones to use. So it would be good to have somebody translate, those specifics when we're teaching, so that would be good. That's a good idea. And I'm on, I think, a day 102 in Duolingo, and I feel like I still don't know anything.
No, you will do. The more you do it, things are going to start coming a little
Yeah,
bit
that's
repetitive.
true.
Then yes, a little bit at a time. So once you go to Tanzania and hear people are talking, then
Yes.
you'll be building up a little bit. No, just hang in there. And I said,
Yeah, I do. I
yeah,
do.
we're
Sometimes
gonna,
I'm late
yeah,
doing it, but I'm doing it.
I love that pole pole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
they
gonna
taught me
sound
pole pole.
yeah, it's gonna sound weird, but when I do Duolingo, I don't even pay attention to what I'm doing. I just keep doing it and doing it little by little. Because let's say they have a sentence. I know I'm not gonna understand every word in that sentence. I don't even try to, but let's say I wind up seeing that sentence several times. After a while, I'm like, well, you know what? I recognize two of those words. Now I recognize three. Now once I see the sentence, I hear it, I know the exact translation. And then now I'm starting to learn more about the little additions. Like I was going over this with my wife. So let's say we say akienda or unkienda. So like ki actually means if. So if you were to go or if you go, so you could say mtaenda or I will go, but then if you want to say if, you would say unkienda. So, but I had seen that word for years and never really knew what it meant. Now I look at it, oh, it jumped out. Oh, that means if. It took me like who knows how long to finally realize it, but I don't try to learn. I just do it little by little, and I just let it take shape by itself.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Both of you.
Yeah, yeah, and it can be frustrating too because you get something wrong and then they penalize you for it. So you just
They
have to.
take they take the heart away. I'm like, no. Oh, they said,
That's
okay,
a
you did,
sad
did
thing.
very well. And they said, okay, oh, we're gonna give you a hard exercise. I'm like, no, just give me the easiest. Don't give me the hard one. But anyway, I mean, it's something that if you do it leisurely, then it becomes a little bit easier. Yeah, you learn a little bit here and there. The more you hear, the more you interact with our fellow Tanzanian, the easier it's becoming to pick up words and stuff. And I agree with you. And that probably now you give me more ideas on that website. So the language learning or something, we can have like a CPR training. So things that we need to do, counting, even counting 1 to 30. Yes. So we can have somebody practicing English, somebody practice. So it'd be almost like a kind of like a corner, Qhsc corner.
Cognates. Yeah,
Yes.
cognates.
So
Because there's a lot of words that are almost the same. And like the
yeah.
little thing about, like, I think you say it all the time. You said something earlier and then you said like list, you said listi. So a lot of times, yeah, you just add the little I at the end. It's a word that they probably use anyway in English or they understand it and Valentine remembers. So she saw the calendar. I think if she remembers, they had it like, so December, they just say December. And that's how they spell it, just like that. So there might be a actual way of saying it in Swahili, but then there's another way I think it's kuminambili, so it just means 12. So it's was it not mwaka, the word for month, but it's the 12th month. That's all, and that means December.
Mwezi.
Huh?
Mwezi.
Yeah, mwezi nambili, yeah.
No,
So it just means
mwezi
12.
kumi na
10 and
mbili.
2 connected.
Yeah, mwezi, yeah, kuminambili, because that's 12. I'm sorry. You see, even Bree's learning.
Okay, Mr. Steve Jones, I know you've been too quiet.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh,
All is well.
okay, good to know.
Yeah, I'm just listening to everybody. But I
Okay.
think that some of the things that you're talking about, especially breaking it down into teams and having a team lead to be able to construct the area that need to be done is a great thing, because it takes away from the overall, it doesn't take away from the overall mission, it adds to the overall mission, but it take away from the overall stress of the leadership. Then you have that where the person can volunteer for that particular area because that's what they're interested in. And
Yes.
then you kind of go off, do your own thing. Okay, so I was kind of looking at that myself as basis for optometry. And one of the things that I wanted to say, I know a lot of people wear glasses. I don't, but but often you go get eye exams anyway, every 2 years or 3 years, something like that. You have an optometrist. So if you have an optometrist, we want to give you some information, or you can talk to an optometrist about coming to the meeting. I mean, by volunteer for the mission, I'm sorry. So that's one of the things that we can do, because you already have a relationship with them. You've already gone on the mission. You already know what's happening. Those who have gone on, those who have not, who got the pictures and the videos, we're putting something together. Parak and I, we talked about some things the other day, maybe a little video, and see what we can do about getting some more volunteers. So this particular year is the year we got to do everybody again for all the eye exams. So last year, it's every other year. So we need some help. So if you guys can come in, even just for your optometrist, and see, talk to them and say, hey, listen, or I'm looking for organizations here in the Dallas area who may have a volunteer organization for optometry, that they can come in, talk to them and say, hey, send a letter or something out to them and say, hey, this is what we're doing. We'd like to have 1 or 2 volunteers from your program, or as many as possible. And would you like to do that? And let them volunteer, let them get in early on the meeting, so they can know exactly what's being expected of them, and they can kind of see everything that's going on. So that's one of the things that we're looking for, and for each area, it might be advantageous for everybody to do the same thing. If you're over that particular area, then you need to. Anybody who's already in the organization may have contacts with some of the other people, so you can share those particular contacts, and that's what it does. It makes that easier.
Yes, no, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But in fact, that was one point we were going to discuss next month, but I'm glad you brought it right now, is if you are a team lead on a group or project, you're going to take ownership for that part, in a sense that, yes, getting people to ask, and if they need a letter for corporate letter, yes, that's where we have information. Okay, this is what we have done, or we are doing, and then you can share with the person that you are optometrist or your ophthalmology, whoever you're working with, so they can come with us in the medical mission. So definitely, when you're owning that project, you're going to be at least responsible or expected to be able to gather the resource and find the people, or recruiting people on that team. I mean, the people that I know, and I know if they fit on that, I'll be directing, say, okay, go and talk to Mr. Steve Jones, go and talk to Miss Audrey, or go and talk to Miss Valentine, or go and talk to Miss, I mean, I can name those people. So then you come and work with that person, so then we can get more information. And that's what's going to make it a little bit easier, because you're going to be focusing on one project and you make it better. And then it's going to be at the end, you know it inside out, you can speak to it. And then now you can start doing all those media posts and stuff. As a project leader on that project, you go ahead and speak. And then they record it 2-3 minutes about that project, what you are working with. And that give you different faces on the our social media to say, these are the people who are responsible for this project. And that's what we want. I don't want to be the only person who keep talking over and over and over and over. No, I want people to hear you as a leader on that project, and then they'll be able to know, because you're going to probably reach even more people that I probably have never known before. And then definitely, if there's something that we need to be able to discuss with me or collaborate with me or do the advertisement with me, that's fine. So that will give us a chance to say, okay, an added part, and then, but at least you own it, and then you take over it. And then, of course, at the end, we have a very productive project that is going to impact a lot of people.
Yeah, can you bring up that poster that you used in your presentation, so I can just explain something real quick?
No, you can start
you can just
while I'm looking for it.
share it on your screen.
Yeah, I will.
And then
You start talking about it and then let me find it first. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, just Gisela, are you're on social media?
Now, that's it.
Yes.
Do you go by your name or do you use a different handle?
Let me check. How do I check?
Or what you could do is send me your links for your social media. And we need a LinkedIn page too. So we're going to get a LinkedIn page and then we need to get threads. I don't have threads. Dr. Gabone, I don't think you have threads. So we have to make that shift over to threads. So we're definitely going to start that as well. But so what I'll do is I'll send you a request and then I'll share it with a few other members in the group as well, so we can friend you. And then I'm just going to explain something real quick here. So if you look here at the screen, we were on our way to the hotel and we realized that there was a place or a company there that does branding and all that stuff. So actually it was Veronica and she said, well, let's take a walk over there. I want to see if they can make me a poster. So we went over there and she got a poster made for her presentation and everything like that. And so while we were there, of course, I asked them about their prices and everything like that. So we had, it's kind of like a dry run. So we to test them out. So I got this person to make me 5 posters for social media. So this little picture that you see here, that's one of our posters that we'll start posting. Like you'll see how these organizations, they'll post little sayings and then underneath it, in the description or, you know, their little post, they'll have a comment saying, if you want to know more about this, or if you want to contribute, or, you know, just kind of explain it. So we're going to start to blitz social media, all the different platforms on a regular basis. So right now, this is just for our nutrition program. We're going to do one for CPR, one for our leader, Dr. Gabone, another one for our organization so that people can see us. That's why I was telling Bree that we want to have an actual physical meeting or a few physical meetings so they can see us operating and how we work, so that people can get a better idea of who we are and what's required, or what kind of environment they're going to be coming into in terms of how they work. So let's say Monday will be, you know, every Monday will be nutrition day. So we'll have 5 of these. We can keep reposting them. And then we're going to do this all throughout the year. And then we got to come up with a list of holidays too that we can make posters for. And I think I might be able to figure out how to do this myself. I think I have an app that has AI that might do it. I'm not sure. But for these 5 posters, they charged me like was $96. And I think we went back and forth for a few days with them. But the posters are fairly good. And so that's why somebody like Gisela, yes, it would be very helpful, because then as we put these posters out, you can actually share them. So that's another thing we'll do. We'll just keep sharing them on our pages and sharing them with other people or whatever and stuff like that. But we want to have a larger group of people from within the organization that will do it. And we also want them to be consistent, because we've been watching other organizations and we've noticed that, you know, some of them will have 3 to 4 of these postings every day, all the time. And then some of them, they'll just reappear. You'll see it'll be the same one again. If you follow them enough, you'll see like 2 weeks later, it's the same one again. So just over and over. So it's kind of like a commercial, but it's a free one. We don't have to pay, because normally on Facebook, you say, okay, well, I'll pay, and they'll do a commercial for you, but we can't afford that. So we're going to be doing our own marketing. So, so yes, Gisela, you'll be able to help us with that. And then Steve Jones is pretty experienced on this too. So he actually probably has, well, I'm sure he has more experience than I do in terms of this. So that's why he's definitely on the team.
Got a little experience, but I'll help. Any help is possible, okay, and needed.
And Gisela has her hand up. So I was just going to say, and then this actual plan that I'm talking about, I didn't come up with it. That's Dr. Gabone's niece, I think. That's your niece, right, Janet?
Janet, yeah.
Yeah, she came up with it. So she may be working with us. We're not sure yet, but she's the one that came up with that plan. So I'm just trying to put it together little by little, and then we'll talk to her again and see. But
Miss Valentine, you were there from the beginning.
Hi. Yes. What's your question?
I said, any feedback since you were there from the beginning, like when the group started from there to now?
Well, I mean, as far as, okay, well, let me just say, first of all, that I've noticed a lot of growth I like the fact that we added, we added the sanitary pad project for the young girls. And then it was me who mentioned the sorry for the background noise, but the suggestion that was mentioned for CPR training, that was actually me. I think I mentioned it before. And basically though, what I'm really just saying is like, so usually when we do CPR training, we incorporate using the ambu bag, right?
Yes, yes.
So I think we should continue with the way the CPR training has been going is like great. I just think that we should also teach people how to do CPR without using an ambu bag, only because, for example, like when I noticed that this mission, there were kids were being taught, right? In Tanzania, but these kids don't work in a healthcare setting. God forbid something happens to a family member at home. They need to know how to perform CPR without an ambu bag. So that was just that little piece that I wanted to add in.
Yeah, we incorporated that. I don't mean to cut you, but we did improvise and we incorporated that on the fly because we realized they couldn't use an ambu bag. There's lots of, times, even our healthcare workers were asking, well, what do I do at home? Or, my, where I live, we don't have a doctor. We don't have things. We can't get, one of the things that came up is how do we even get the ambulance to get to us? So that's another thing we need to delve into. How do they sustain life? How do they transport the person that is in need and in, respiratory cardiac arrest? So, yeah, those are things that we do need to develop. But yeah, we did on the fly make those adjustments.
All right. Well, there's that then.
No, that was very good observation, Valentine, and I agree with Ms. Audrey. Then yes, because when we get even the infant CPR, we were not planning to do that, but because we were trying just to get for their peer-to-peer issues, because the history of that school is sometimes when they're playing, the kids, 4th, 5th, 7th grade, when they're playing outside, they play too long, and then some of them start passing out. So we were like, no. If we are friends, then we start showing like a child CPR. That's it. Without the, we didn't do the but we just do the CPR identification or whatever, call for help. And while you're calling for help, what should we do? Because they said whenever they're calling, while they're waiting, they were finding them. So we were like, there's more stuff to do, which they're trying to cool them because the majority of them are heat exhaustion. That's why, because they're playing outside. And that's why we're trying to address the hydration part. And then, of course, identify, call for help. What do you need to do? Where do you put your hands? CPR. And we know CPR, you can do compression until you get help. However, remember that the one child asked for magnet and said, what happened if the ambulance is not coming? Which is exactly the right question, because we are here, we are boys say, call 911, start this CPR, and they say, what happened? There's no 911. So those are things that we need to be armed, and then as I said, we are tasked that with the CPR group to be able to address all those things. By the time we go, we say, when you are going to the community, this is what you have to answer, this is what you have to address. And then when you're going to the hospital, that's why I said on the hospital, we have to add almost like almost an ALS or ACLS. It depends on which you're doing, American Heart or Red Cross. So whatever you are addressing, we need the CPR have to have those provision. If this hospital follow the American Heart Association, then these are the things that we need to do. If you're following the American Red Cross, these are the things that we need to do. The CPR group, that's why we're giving them a whole year to be able to figure it out and then have those things in place. We are going to communities, definitely. We're going to the parents now, because the children want to tell their parents, and the teachers are telling us that the parents are asking, when are you coming to teach us? It's a good problem to have, because now we have to expand ourselves to be able to address that issue. And I mean, I'm excited because at least somebody wants to learn how to save a life. That is, my job is done. You can't pay me enough. So those are the things that we need to be able to do and add with our CPR. We have to make sure our CPR program is robust, addressing those issues. And then to finish up your answer is, when we realize teaching on a children rescue or resuscitation or screening, we realized that one of the child said, I have a 1-month-old. What happens when I'm at home? And we were like, I said, Bree, get the infant CPR. We were not planning to do CPR, infant CPR for the children, because we were like, yeah, at school, they need to be able to save each other. And we didn't have much time. But then when the child asked, I have a 1-month-old at home, I was like, we can't miss that opportunity. So we pull the kids who have children 1 year or less. We put them at the front because we had 96, so there's no way we're going to address that. And we already been there already 2.5 hours. So we only took few kids who have their younger brothers or sisters who are less than a year. Here, this is how you need to do, how you resuscitate them, how you call for help. While you're waiting for mom and dad to come home, or brother or sister, this is need to do. So these are things that we need to address. Next time we set aside the time to make sure that if we're teaching the children how to save themselves, we need to teach them, because these are the ones who are going to be there home babysitting. And that's when the kid is going to swallow a grape or whatever and stop breathing. So yes, there's a lot of stuff that we need to address, and thank you, Valentine, for raising that point. Definitely, we have to be intentional when we are teaching these things. We have to be intentional. We have to address all those things. We can't just go and, oh yeah, we're doing CPR and that's it. No, we need to be able to say CPR that fits the environment. It's different the way you're teaching a CPR in the United States and CPR for somebody in Tanzania who does not have a phone, doesn't live by themselves. There's no hospital within 100 miles. You need to teach them things that they can do for what they can survive in their own environment. So we need to expand a little bit more on those areas. So there's more work to do. That's why
I know
I need
I
more
raised
people.
my hand.
Yes.
I know I raised my hand, but I wanted to say, what was so shocking to me is here in America, we do the life saving all the time. But there, the life saving, they were like 10 minutes. And that's it. What are we doing this for? And I can respect that because they don't have the means to sustain life.
That's it.
And then culturally it's like, what's the purpose? This is God's work. So what are we doing? Why do we need to do all of this? So we have to also incorporate that into our training. How soon do we do it? I mean, how long do we go? Because, for us, we can go an hour or so. They did not understand why we needed to do that. They were saying, why are we going more than 5 minutes? And even the poor little baby, they didn't even understand why we were trying to resuscitate the baby. So these are the cultural, differences that are good, but we have to incorporate it in our thing. Because like you said, bringing our way might not work for them and their individual lives as well as work, their work lives. Yeah. So we have to really incorporate that stuff too. Yeah, but that's a good point.
Yeah, and so since the Valentine is a labor and delivery nurse, so when you're in the labor and delivery nurse, that time we had a baby who needed resuscitation.
I was just about to mention, so you said that you respect that, we need to respect that, or whatever the case may be. The last mission that I went on, I think that was something that I couldn't agree with, but you're basically bringing that another perspective to light, because prior to you saying that, I was just like, wait, what are you doing? This baby's dying. You need to continue. And I actually said something out loud, and Dr. Gabone had to pull me aside and tell me to tone it down. I know how you're feeling, whatever the case may be, but this is how it is. So.
Yes, so there's a lot of stuff. We had that baby who was
it's hard. Mm-hmm.
Was how many weeks, Brie? Was it 25, 20?
I think it was 26, right? 26,
25, 26, yeah. So that baby was when I'm telling Brie, I'm sorry, Valentine, because she's a labor and delivery nurse, she's going to understand where I'm going with this. So 25, 26 baby was born. And we were just, we attempted to resuscitate the baby. And then we did not have anything to intubate or LMA or ET or anything. So we did the compression, we did the ventilation, we didn't have the TP, like a little thing. And then so we did it almost like 25, 30 minutes because we did not believe what that 5 minutes thing, whatever. Because we knew the first 5 minutes we did not have the equipment that we wanted. So that 5 minutes we did not count. We counted the effective CPR first to be able to say by the 10 minutes, we know for sure there's no coming back. And they were saying, yes, if you don't have intubation for 25 a week, what are you going to do? So it was hard. And we call Dr. Kimbi, Tanya is an NLP instructor. So it was hard to let go. It was hard. So those are the things that we need to learn when we're doing all this help baby breathe and all the stuff. Yes, in the hospital, if the hospital have the ability to do it, and if we can raise money to get those resuscitation things, the little machines and stuff like that, the bulb suctioning, that's as simple as that. We need those things. The CPAP, We need those things. So when we go there and start helping them to train and intubating this baby, but the 25-week or 26-week should not die. Should not. That's just as
The
plain.
intubation
Yeah,
kit,
and they were really, oh, sorry. Mhm.
What, Brie?
the intubation kit, they said they didn't even have one in the NICU, right? Or they thought the NICU was too far to walk with the
They
Oh
didn't
baby.
have.
my gosh, Bree, that really hurt me. That broke my heart that they were like, it's too far. What do you mean? We're not going to take care of it. Like they were really going to bring the baby there, lay her there. We were being like kind of nosy and we saw them. We were like, what are they doing? And then that's when you guys jumped into action and noticed it's a newborn that's, 26 weeks. We never met the mother. We never knew the family because they were so disconnected from saving that life. It was like, what are we doing here? We don't need to save this life. I don't know if it's a let God do its work or let Allah. I don't know what it is, but they were not really like
No, I think
understanding why we wanted to do this. Yeah.
they use because they don't do they do what they call help baby breathe. So help baby breathe means like almost kind of like a transitioning the baby. For the baby who is able to do stuff outside, they should be able to do that stuff outside. And then so if the baby is too young for them. But for us, we do even like a 23, 24 week. We're going to try and save no matter what, prolong whatever the inevitable. But yeah, so for them, if they don't have a thing to intubate or they don't have the surprise to do that, so how long can you ventilate these babies who the lungs doesn't get a squat? Maybe baby had things that they were blocking. We don't know. We didn't have all those resources to be able to do a good screening and yes, we did have the best person you can have, the neonatologist, who is the world-renowned Dr. Kimbi, who could save anything. He tried, and unfortunately, baby did not make it. So it was very frustrating for me, at least, to see that and seeing that a 25-weeker should not die. We have to do, I mean, I know baby can die with all other reasons. I understand that part. I'm talking about just based on the equipment, limited equipment. Those are the part that we need to do better. We need to do better. So if we are working on that team for resuscitation and stuff, if we can collect stuff that will help to be able to alleviate that part, yes, we should be able to go and work with the labor and delivery nurses and the doctors and to be able to say, this is what we do. And they're willing to do it, but they don't have it. So it is hard and frustrating for us to come in there because we want to jump in and start ordering things around. It's not there. So that's what we need to plan. Okay, how much can we raise? How much can we collect and take it with us? And then be able to do that. And how can we do to sustain that part? Because we're taking it with us and do it within 2 weeks is great, but not enough. So what can we do to extend that part? Even maybe we do the training and then start making sure we work on the supply. So the group that is going to work with the neonatal resuscitation, that's the one is going to be charging with them saying, okay, we're going to do the training. Great. And then when you leave, they don't have the ET tube to intubate. What's the training for? And then they don't have LMA to try and help that open that airways. What's the training for? There's no help for that part. So if we really want to do those things and introduce that part and give them those skills, then we need to sustain it and make sure that they are able to do so. Every baby who is born there and need that help gets the help. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of work to do, but I'm excited. And that's why we're trying to make sure people who wants to take the lead for those projects, take the lead for those projects, own it, and then go beyond and try. We discuss the challenges that are there. Let's address those challenges even before we get there. Let's us get there and be like, oh my goodness, where is it? We don't have the ET, we don't have this, we don't have the CPAP, we don't have, because that baby needed CPAP just to keep the real lungs open. Yes, it was oxygen is there, but there's nothing little to connect to make sure that it stay there, connecting to it. The gauge to know how much is coming in. So those are the real things that we need to work behind the scene before we get there. And they're not doing it on purpose. It's because they don't have the resource. So if we were jumping in and we want them to do better, then we need to offer them and sustain them. That's as simple as that. Yes. Okay. Any other questions? As I said, there's a lot of stuff to do. All I'm asking people to willingly to help and work with us, please join us. And then so we can do and save a life. If we can save one life, which I know we will save more than that, but at least if we can guarantee saving one life at least, that would be a great, good start. And if we can save 100, Praise the Lord. And I know we can, either with the CPR in the community or CPR in the hospital, or whether we try to help them make sure they don't get infection when they have their periods, or do the sports so that the children can be healthy and physically fit, and then study hard and break that cycle of poverty. We need to do it. We need to do it. So every project in the community, in the organization, contributing to that bigger picture of a healthy community. Nutrition, we need to raise more money to get the money to feed those kids for their whole year with a price tag of $50,000. We can do it. We can do it. So I'm sure that when we do that, then the children will be able to have a brighter future. Definitely. Being inspired because they see that people from America value their life. Because yes, we go there and for 2 weeks, some people are like, oh yeah, we just go there and hand the backpack and stuff like that. Yes, we do that. But also for that kids, they see there's somebody who value their life, who they don't even know your name, but you value their life enough to spend the time, those 2 weeks, spend a lot of money to go and see them, buy those little things and give it to them. And you see that smile on their face, that is the reward that I'm looking for. And that's it. That's it. And I'm hoping anybody who join us can do that, can contribute to this life of these kids. Okay, guys. Irene said she's listening. We want to hear from you, though. She sent the message. You say she's listening. But any other things before I allow Mr. Jones to pray for us and show our gratitude, gratefulness for all the people who are waking us?
Sorry, my name is Irene. I've been following, but I was just away from my phone for a little bit when you called my name. I think this was a very successful mission, and I'm really happy for everything you guys been doing. Seems like you did a lot. You helped a lot of people. I was so impressed with sanitary pads, and I'm glad that you chose to go with reusable. I mean, as long as the girls know how well to clean them, I think that's a good idea. I'm really willing to help out. It's just as I know you addressed this multiple times. Everybody's busy, and I get it. But I know some people are very well at time management and organizing themselves than others. So, but I think it's everything you're doing is great, and you have a good group of volunteers, and I'm glad that everybody's doing such a good job.
Thank you. A lot of things that we are doing, and I'm hoping people are inspired and they're willing to help us. And then so we can carry this mission and see how our impact to this through these children's eyes and the providers, and of course the ultimate patient. So this my goal is like, I mean, when we continue doing this, but I want to hear from the patient themselves that we work. I want the healthcare workers to go and spend the time in the hospital with their shift and stay there, do the work that you are meant to do versus running around between hospitals and here and there. No, we want to be able to go in the unit, take your 4 shifts, and then Monday through Thursday and do the work, Monday through Thursday, do the work, and then be able to actually see the end of that part, how much impact we help the patients. Because yes, we are all expertise in our areas, and your expertise is needed. And when we are recruiting you, we want you to be able to use that expertise to the limited resource area that they otherwise they would have never had received that part. So I'm really asking for the hospital side, I'm really asking for the healthcare workers to commit, be part of the preparation, volunteer your expertise to try and make the program better. Just don't sit there and wait to be told. Do stuff that you are meant to do, because whatever you share is well received. They're really looking forward to it. And if you know there's any challenges that they say you are expertise in certain things that they don't have, then help us work on it, gather the devices, gather the supplies, gather the funds, and then help go and do a complete of that project to make sure that it's show, help the people up in Tanzania. So we do need to really, really work on it. If you need any material that are like specific for the organization that you are not aware of, please let me know, because we're trying to work behind the scene to try and get the letters for each project. So if you are asking for fundraising or corporate sponsors and stuff, we can say, use this letter for corporate sponsor, use this letter for the advertisement. This is the website. And then you work with the media people, our newly minted media people, say, I need this project to be announced or posted or something like that to be shared with the website or the organization Facebook. Sure, then those people, they can share and make sure that they know what the projects we're doing. We are going to make at least the team leads speak about their project, at least 3-4 minutes, and then give the media people to post it. So they need to know what all these projects we are doing. People need to know what exactly forces us or inspire us to do those projects. So we need to be able to have different people saying it except me. I'll be back here and cheering you on. We need different faces and different voices. And then, of course, everybody has their own impact. So we want to be able to get a bigger population out there. So I'm really, really proud of everybody who spend even a little minute here and there, an hour with us, or even 3 hours with us, sharing our progress, sharing our challenges. We need your help. So if you can help us with your time, your expertise, your money, your fundraising capability, or you can give the suggestion, please do. We need all any help we can get. Even Mrs. Taylor, who is going to be our future leader in our Qhsc. Hi, Miss Taylor. So we need your help, Missy. We might need to do some programs with children. We might need your help. Yes, we need that smile.
She said hi. I don't think you heard.
Oh, I saw her mouth moving. Yes. Yeah. So hi. So I don't want to take too much time, but if there's no other discussion, anything else, I'm going to ask Mr. Steve Jones to pray for us. As I said, we are grateful for his service and ongoing support, and very dedicated to be one of our Qhsc members. So we have to give him a huge role of the project leader for our vision. So please, and of course our prayer warrior. That goes without ask. So if you can bless us with a prayer, please.
And we just want to thank God for each and every blessing and for everyone who have attended this meeting today, God. We ask you to touch the hearts and the mind of your people, oh God. Give them, oh Lord, the desire to volunteer, oh God. Give them the desire to give back, oh God, as you have gave your son, Jesus Christ, for the repentance of our sins, oh God. Let us give back to other people and help them, oh God, as you have helped us. God, there's other people out there, oh God, I know that wanting to help, oh God, wanting to do something, that's having desire. God, let them let us be in contact with them. Let us walk across their paths or get an unsuspected telephone number, a letter in the mail, or whatever case may be, God. Let us be able to connect, oh God, with Qhsc. God, give us now even millionaires and billionaires who will support this mission, oh God. Give us dedicated people even more so. And we want to thank you for each and every one. That we ask you to bless their families, oh God, bless them on their job and even throughout today. We ask you to bless Qhsc to such a point, oh God, that it be a nationally known name, oh God, that people will run into the door trying to volunteer. We ask this of you, God, because it's not what our desire is. So God, it's not really our desire. It's your desire. And you put the desire in Dr. Gabone's heart, oh God. And she just manifests what you put in her heart, oh God, to go back out and touch other people who may be a little bit less fortunate than we are. We ask you, God, everything that we have given out, whether it's a pair of shoes, oh God, or a pair of glasses, or our time, money, effort, thoughts, or even ideas, oh God. We ask you to give it back to us even the more so. Bless us now. Bless our families, oh God, and everything that we do. God, we ask you to be a blessing upon us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Mina.
Amina.
That was the easy one. Amina.
I know. No, thank you very much, Mr. Steve Jones. We appreciate that. So anybody else?
Amen.
Oh, Victoria, back? Anything? Oh, you're done. Victoria?
Yes, I'm back.
Oh, okay. Anything? I know.
I don't have anything, but yes, I would like to be in contact with some of the special education teachers. Not waiting until it's time for the next mission trip, but I'd like to just kind of stay in contact with them throughout so that I can come up with some ideas.
Yes, and I think Dr. Siakabe has a group, right, for the other teachers?
Yes,
No, not really. I think it's more for the sports. So we need one specifically for
The one in
the teachers.
Mrs. Christine Behuniak is in there. I thought it was a school.
Oh, maybe we haven't used it in a long time. Maybe that's
Yeah,
why. Probably.
it's in
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look for it then. I'll
Yeah.
make sure Victoria's in there.
Yes, because I mean that one I think Esther Chambo, she's there, so and she's very, very active. So we can definitely get and she can connect with us. And then you have that conversation ahead of time and discuss things that, as I said, we want to be intentional and purposeful, and we're taking that much time to make sure we clean up and make sure it's more efficient. So definitely. Those groups are going to be
Okay.
big, and people who are getting those, I mean, if you put in a group, because we want to make sure it's, the communication is more efficient. So please see those messages and respond the messages. So when somebody posts in the group and they're asking you for something, then provide your feedback so we can move on with activities. Yeah. With that saying, I am going to give you back your Saturday. Thank you for sharing that Saturday morning with us. And Qhsc, thank you very much, and be blessed always. Bye, guys.
See y'all later. Have a great
All
day.
right.
Bye bye bye.
All right.
Bye.
Kwaheri.
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 Bye bye. Kwaherini.
Bye, Mama.
Ooh.